All right, man, give it to me. I want to hear all the complaints about this brand new thumbnail. All the complaints, man. Bring them on. Come on. No, I'm ready.
As much as I value your opinion, and I think everybody should have their own things that they like. I think everyone would be in agreement that they'd rather see more of Stride and Alvo in the thumbnail than
you don't like cute little anime fox girl
and Spice and Wolf too.
But she's so adorable, and as I'll tell you later, she's 15 years old. So when you pet her, it makes everyone feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All right, can we cue the cat?
Cue the cat, because I want to say what's up to my peeps. The cat's in the house. The high ground game cat says, hey, hey. Twitcher, the single player game cat says, hey, hey, hey. Mach 22, the game cat says, hello. Yes, I'm here for my shout out. Thank you and kind regards.
Shout out.
Right back at you. That game cat in the chat, Robbie B, the English game cat. So proper, so posh. Go watch his viewer takeover intro. It was brilliant. Creeper Betty, PSVR, meow. Hasib Mirza, Brian, says maybe AJ can start making the thumbnails. I think, we
have a level of quality we want to upkeep around here, and I don't think that's going to help anything.
Ace Phil, the attack cat, says happy birthday. Game cat / good vibes. Hell yeah, Ace Phil. Charlie Fifth, the game cat, what's up? PSVR Underground, I know that dude. Mark Pringlesley, Hizzy, the game cat, our local news scooper, coming in hot with the news today. Sean B, Darth Vader, the game cat, watch out, high grounds above you. Genetic blasphemy, David Moore, Trusty Mods in the house. Julia, the dreams loving game cat, hello. Jada Main, Andrew Bailey, Mega Dollar Dog 2. What happened to Mega Dollar Dog 1?
We miss him. We miss him so much.
Be a third. Important questions. TJ Silverlake, Guy Son, fist up to you. Mick Coles, Red Rover, the effing game cat. Todd, the father mucking game cat. Seymour game cats. PS5 4K gameplay. I have a correction. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I said YouTube can't do 4K gameplay. I was wrong. It's 4K live streams. I don't believe it can do. So sorry about that. PS5 4K gameplay. Dennis Manguso, LC2552 Beats, 9 Lives, the Game Cat, Beard of Power, 666, Gabriel 004, the License to Meow, Game Cat, Meow, 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 William McKinney, also known as the Gill, VR Grid, Ryan from the VR Grid in the house tonight, Herb, the 247 Game Cat, Cooter Critters, the Game Cat, Gamecast aficionado, Death Venus Blue, JT Money, DJ, all you people in the house, Delirium Drew, what is up, you guys? Decepticon. Yeah, mother.
This is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. We bring it to you live, because that's what live means. My name's Bryan Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole, and the guys to my right, the boys, Dave from Dave Station. Get ready for it. VR. I'm so angry about it. That guy on the right-hand side of the screen is AJ from The Underground, PSVR Underground.
What is up, you guys? Wow, so much going on.
So much going on, man. We have so much to talk about. We have things to talk about. We have games to talk about, announcements to talk about. We have also things to talk about. But we should probably get the show rolling. But the little game is should we or shouldn't we? We put 6 seconds about the couple in the comments. We tell you the loyal game cat.
Whoa, edit that one out. Cut that one out.
No way, man. Cut.
We'll fix it in post.
Right. You just became Dave Coulier, like just for a half second. Did I ever tell you the story about how I met Dave Coulier?
I don't know who that is. Tell me.
Wait, he's the cut it out guy from Full House. Oh, I'm so much older than you guys. All right.
Racking my brain.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll tell the story some other time. I think I've already told it a bunch of times. Yeah. Let's play Should We or Shouldn't We? When we tell you guys, the loyal game cats, whether you should or shouldn't be playing and or watching or doing the things that we've been playing and or watching and or doing. Who would like to go first? 60 seconds up on the clock. On your mark. AJ, get Dez. Go.
I have been doing a lot of stuff. I know I haven't done a bunch of stuff on the channel for the last couple days. I apologize, but I promise you I am working on stuff. And one of those things involves a game you guys might be familiar with, and that is Hitman 3. Yes, I am still playing Hitman 3. This is the beauty of getting huge AAA games in VR, because there is a lot to play in Hitman 3. And that's just the third one. I've hardly even touched 1 and 2, but the stealth in this game, the environments, my God, the graphics, the detail, the depth, the amount of stuff. Every level is like 3 levels in a really big game. Like is 3 levels in one per level. This game is incredible. I cannot recommend it enough. Hitman 3 is an absolute should we. Full price, $60, absolutely worth it. Amazing, amazing game.
Wow, pretty good, man. With a second to spare and everything. Nice. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. I'm glad you're still enjoying Hitman. It sucks, man, because like
it's better, Brian. It gets, not only am I still enjoying it, it's getting better the more I play it.
Yeah, no. One of the things that I really hate right now is that like I've had to move on to other things. And in Hitman 3, I know that I've played the crap out of that game and probably only seen 20-25% of it at best. So that just makes me very. I know, Charlie Fisk. I'm missing my PlayStation hoodie. I'll tell you real quick. With the recent,
Sorry, I got the symbols. Brought the symbols out today.
With the recent the rearranging of my apartment, like this room where I'm filming right now is super cold all the time, and so like I even had to like buy a little space heater and stuff just so I could sleep cozy at night. For some reason today it must be super mild out because it's warm in here, and I don't feel like wearing a sweatshirt or a hoodie right now. So I had to go with the old tried and true black T-shirt favorite. I might have to grow a mohawk soon just to bring it all back to 2016. Dave, I think that means you're up, unless you want me to go.
Yeah, sure. I can go.
Okay. Well, then on your mark. There's a reason I'm slowing down. Get Des and go.
All right. So this one isn't a game or a movie or a TV show or anything. It's actually like an app on my computer that syncs up with my smart lights. Now, this you follow me with this here. Basically, I figured out this thing. I have these colored smart lights, as you can tell, in my room here. And they can change colors, 16 million different things, whatever. There's this thing you can install on your computer for free that syncs it up to whatever's on your screen. So I was playing flat games last night, and like when I'd go into a cave, my whole room would get dark. When I walked outside, there'd be a big flash of light in the room, as I adjusted to the scenery outside and stuff. So like basically everything in the game on the screen was extended into my room. It was pretty fucking cool. You can do the same thing with like movies and TV shows and stuff like that, or with music. And it's like pretty sweet. I'm going to try and set it up for my TV also with the PS5, because playing God of War like that would be really fun. But yeah, that's it. Philips Hue Sync. It's the app on PC. It's good shit. I'm having a light party in here all night, all day.
Excellent. That sounds like a interesting decorative should we. Makes everything better. I hate
even just like browsing the internet, like when you go from a white page to like a dark mode app, like the whole room changes with it. It's kind of wild.
That's great. One of my least and most favorite things in life is lighting. I love when you get amazing lighting. I like low lighting. I like dim, like just kind of things that accentuate. But man, I feel like every single lamp and light bulb and everything I've gotten over the last couple of years has been way too bright for me. So like trying to find the right thing for your own place is really difficult sometimes. But when you get it right, sure, it's one of the greatest things ever. I guess that's me then.
Please do it, Brian. Please tell me you did it.
I didn't do what you want me to do. Hey man, there's always next week. Like, this is AJ's catchphrase for the entire day. He's like, "Oh, we'll just do that next week. We'll just do that next week." And you know what? The one you're thinking of,
we gotta save some stuff for next week.
Well, then we'll save this for next week.
I wanted a live reaction, okay?
And I will. Perfect. I will do it live next week. I promise you. Okay. They don't even know. They don't even know what we're talking about. They're not even gonna miss it because they don't even know what it is. They'll be shocked next week.
This better be good. This better be good, Brian.
It's okay. It's shameless self-promotion. On my mark, get Des, go. So as you guys know, for a very, very long time, I wanted to start up a second channel so I could stream retro games, and I finally did. I started Without Parole Retro. You can find it very, very easily on YouTube just by searching Without Parole Retro, or maybe one of our awesome mods will post the link for that channel in the chat now. And I finally did something. I got a whole streaming setup over there for flat screen gaming. I played Resident Evil 2 on PlayStation 1. Let me tell you something about that. Fucking holds up, man. Those graphics are beautiful. I love the look of it. I love how it feels. I fucking love the tank controls. Everything about Resident Evil 2 is as good or better than I remember it. And let me tell you something about how much I remember. Not very much. It's like a 2 hour, 45-minute live stream. And the whole time it's me going, where am I supposed to go next? What key did this unlock? Did I go in this door yet? Wait a minute. Wait, hold on a second. Let me go back. Did I go up those stairs? I already went up those stairs. Yeah. Yes, it's a should we. And that goes for the game and the channel. Shameless self-promotion.
Well, you got some new subscribers already.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Chatters, I
appreciate it. It's going to be very casual, very laid back. It's just going to be streaming because I don't want it to be a job, with that Parole can be very job-like sometimes. And then you're like, oh my God, I got to play this game really fast. I got to review it. I got to capture footage. I got to blah, blah, blah. No, man, I love retro games and I just want to kick back and enjoy them and hang out with you guys. And so thank you very much for all the people who were there for the inaugural stream and everyone who will be there for the future streams. You're all fucking awesome.
I just promoted your self-promotion in the link. So make sure you go to that link for Bryan's channel. In the thing and subscribe to it.
Excellent.
Hit thumbs up on all the videos.
That's that, guys. I think we've got a lot to talk about this week. Should we break into the news?
Oh my goodness, you guys! Bryan, can we give a quick reminder before we get into the news? Can we give a quick reminder of some changes that came to Viewer Takeover? And can we point a couple people over there, please?
A little housekeeping, I guess. Then, right? Viewer Takeover. We had a special guest on this week. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Our special guest was Alex Sin, developer of Swordsman VR from Sin Studio, and it was fantastic having him on because here's the idea for Viewer Takeover. You guys see us all the time. You see us 3 hours on this show. You see us on Viewer Takeover. Anytime there's a separate live stream, like a state of play or something here, we're always here. And so, we wanted to inject something new into that formula. And so Alec was kind enough to be our guinea pig and come along for the ride. It seems like Viewer Takeover for the next few weeks at least, and maybe continuing on after that, depending on what the interest is like. There's always going to be a fourth member, and that fourth member is going to be a developer, just to give some kind of like industry insight into what's happening. The three of us are gamers, and we're super passionate gamers, and so we have strong opinions about things. But we don't.
Wait, did you say there's always going to be a fourth person?
Oh, see, we don't tell Dave anything.
Yeah, I have I just learned this news. Hey, chat, I'm with you guys. I have no clue about this.
You got to roll with the punches, man. Things happen all the time. You just
surprise.
And we could very well do this for a few weeks and be like, oh, maybe no one's interested in this, or maybe it's not working out as well as we thought. But just to inject something new into the channel, we thought it would be very cool to reach out to our developer friends and have them on the show and not do a developer interview with them, have them just be a fourth voice and a different type of voice and just, hey, this is a passionate gamer. No, it's a passionate VR developer. So if you haven't watched Viewer Takeover yet, make sure you go check it out and let us know what you think. We obviously want to hear your feedback, because if it's not working, then tell us. But if it is working, tell us that too. It's 2021, man. It's time for some changes.
Yeah. I just want to add that, hearing from the developer side of things is awesome. I listened to part of it back and I was like, man, I really wish we just let Alec talk the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it was so cool hearing from him. But yeah,
well, if
man.
We're gonna have one every week. You got to get that out of your system real quick, because eventually they're just gonna be like us,
Yeah. But yeah, guys, we have 12 items on the list today. Some optional ones, so it's 12, give or take some. There's also a huge sale. Well, not a huge sale. Sorry, let me take that back. There's a significant sale with some games you really don't want to miss out on that are at the lowest low price that you can get. Yeah, we've got 2 new games that were announced this week on the official PlayStation YouTube channel. Some updates to some games that are coming. But first, we are going to start with, of course, as always, any PS5 related news. Finally, guys, we have some PS5 updates to talk about. There's 2 patents that have popped up. But first, Sony has provided their first numbers, and as of December 31st, they have sold 4.5 million units just at the end of 2020.
That's excellent. That is excellent, man. I think, like we are on track as always. David Moore, thank you so much for the $3 donation. He says it's working. I'm guessing was somebody having trouble with the tips?
No, you asked them to let you know if the concept was working of having a fourth person on there.
Excellent.
And he's saying it's working. Yeah.
Nice. I'm so glad you put that together, because I would have been like, what's working? What's broken? Is everybody okay out there?
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying.
The second words come out of my mouth, they immediately leave my brain. They're gone forever. So thank you. Dude, I mean, we knew right off the bat, that PlayStation 5 was going to sell really well. We knew, especially because of the production issues, that they were, going to be struggling getting as many out there as they could to meet demand. But to hear that they've already sold this many, even with the shortages, is amazing.
It seems to be the biggest thing holding it back right now is just trying to keep them in stock. And yeah, Mick Cole says in 4 million of them to
pretty
scalpers.
much. Yeah.
But I love
I'm
when
sure
this
a lot
comes
of
up, though.
but
I love when this comes up, though, because 4 million to scalpers, sure. But like that doesn't mean that any fewer people actually own one in their home now, because people are buying them from scalpers left and right. And so it sucks that they went to scalpers first, and that the price probably went way higher than it should have. Some likely 2 to 3 times higher. But man, it doesn't affect the sell-through number, because all of them are selling. If scalpers weren't selling out of their supply, then there wouldn't be any scalpers anymore.
Yeah, so just nice for Sony to actually, share something with us for the first time this year. It's January is always really slow in terms of like announcements and stuff like that. So it's nice that the year has finally like kind of begun, and now we're gonna inevitably we'll be waiting for like a state of play, or for them to come out and share what's their roadmap for the rest of the year.
I do think we'll continue to see these exciting little updates now and then, like the No Man's Sky patch, and also God of War getting the PS5 upgrades and stuff. The Control Ultimate Edition is supposed to look incredible on PS5, and that's free this month. So if you did manage to get one of these 4.5 million ones, it seems like all kinds of cool stuff is happening for games that were on PS4. Kind of out of the blue, both flat and VR. So that's exciting.
So speaking of Control and the PlayStation Plus February games, they are available now. And one of them, just as a reminder, is Concrete Genie, which has a free VR mode. It's really short, but it's really pretty. And I think it's definitely worth checking out for free.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And and also, 2020 is behind us now, thank God. And they have released their yearly 2020 wrap-up link. So you can go, and there's links for the EU, for a US, for every region. There should be a link pretty much. And you can go see your stats, your gaming stats for the entire 2020, see what games you played most, see how many games you played. Guys, can you share with us how many games you played and what were your top 3 or any significant ones, I should say?
I want to start by saying that it's still just as inaccurate as it ever was. It still makes no sense.
It's easy to cheat.
Because it says my number 3 game of the year was Final Fantasy VII Remake with 125 hours played, which is just it's not true. It's not possible. But my number 1, it says, was Firewall 0 Hour, which I do believe, with 186 hours. Nice. And I don't really let my headset sit in Firewall, so that was probably actual game time. Ghost of Tsushima came in next at 175. I did play a lot of co-op on that one, so that could be right too. Final Fantasy VII at 125 hours, no way though. It says I played 105 different games, which I do believe. Right.
Let's stop there so we can get a good comparison. We'll take it step by step here.
Yeah, that
AJ,
works.
how many games did you play this year?
252.
Whoa!
That's all viewer choice's fault. That is all from viewer choice.
That's Saturday Night Live stream.
A lot to do with that.
That's totally Saturday Night Live stream.
They must be counting
a lot of games.
They're counting Dread Halls as like 20 different games. Like, you played it enough. Just keep counting it. Nice.
If Heroecade VR is your number 1 for the year, I will fucking lose my shit.
Oh my god,
I would too.
What's and how? So I've got 158 games played in 2020. So I'm at the low end of the spectrum here.
So I get a pizza, right?
Are there
I win
pizza
the
bets on
pizza?
this? I don't think we decided that.
I don't think we can just introduce pizza
What-
bets midstream here.
Yeah, but what are your top games, AJ?
My so at number 3, I've got The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners. Awesome game.
How many hours?
149 hours.
What? No way. No, I don't believe it. I can't believe it. I shan't believe it.
You know, I played the heck out of this game, of course, but I play Trials a lot. I play Trials a lot on Saturday Night live streams. That's like actually one of my more requested things. So because of that Trials mode, I've probably added like another 50 hours, I'd say.
Wow.
And funny enough, of this 150 hours, I probably spent 100 of it just scavenging. Number 2 is Beat Saber at 159 hours.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh, it gets better.
I can't wait.
It gets
Yeah.
better.
I believe that one.
My number 1 most played game of 2020 was, any guesses?
I mean,
No Man's Sky.
it's gotta
maybe.
be No Man's Sky.
It's got No Man's Sky.
Dreams,
Oh, duh. He's learning how to build stuff in it. Yeah.
530
What?
hours in
Ooh.
Dreams.
And that's just the first part of the tutorials, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so my list is way different. Not radically different like game wise, but like number wise, like out of control different. Number 3, Swords of Gargantua with 50 hours. I love that because
Where'd you get that giant dreams thing from, AJ? What the hell is
It's
that? What?
It's a long story.
that came
I've
from a
never
loyal
seen
game cat. I thought he
Yes.
mentioned that on either last week's
I
show
did.
or viewer takeover.
Mm.
Dave tuned out. He's like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Number 2 was Dreams at 53 hours, and number 1 was Beat Saber at 60 hours. So I didn't even come close to breaking triple digits on any game this year, which I'm not surprised about because, man, as soon as I'm done reviewing one, I have to go right to another one. It is nice to
Yeah.
see I played Beat Saber for 60 hours last year, though. That's good. I'm happy to see that. I need another like 100 hours to beat everything on Expert Plus. Let's scroll down. Okay,
What's the next
I
category?
want to hear your total hours of gameplay in 2020 and also your hours played in VR in 2020.
All
Dave?
right. It says 1,000. Sorry, I'm a little congested for some reason. 1,371 hours of gameplay in 2020 and 460 in VR.
Okay.
So I think a lot of the non-VR stuff was like my console just sitting there idle on some menu screen in FF7 or something.
It's also like
'Cause that's what
Tsushima
it
this year,
seems
though,
like.
right? So
A lot of Tsushima too, yeah. And I always keep flat games in the rotation. Like I always try the new stuff. I played the Yakuza game and all that other stuff. So.
AJ,
I'm sorry, what? Hours?
welcome to the show.
Wow, yeah.
Hours of total gameplay in 2020 and then hours played in VR.
I don't actually have those numbers with me, but when I looked before, actually, hold on, let me see. Let me go to my wrap up page right here. If one of you want to,
Yeah, my total hours is wrong. There's no way this could be the case because I did the math and it would be like 19 hours a day. It's 6,182 hours of total.
What? Yeah, that's-
total gameplay and 521 in VR. And I was like, well, that makes way more sense.
2,876 total hours, and 778 in VR. Which the reason I didn't even mention these is because these don't usually make any sense. These are always like inflated or something, or I don't know. They always seem off because they just doesn't make any sense. I mostly only play VR. There's no way there's that big of a gap between
Absolutely
my
not.
VR and my regular hours.
I
So.
100% agree.
but-
Something's very, very wrong with that. I will say I do like the trophy stats. I get 719 trophies this year, 426 bronze, 164 silver, 117 gold, and David Moore got me 12 platinums this year.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's awesome. That's accurate. You can't.
That
you
is
can't
accurate. Yeah, I like the accuracy on
mess
that.
that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, if you want to check your stats, be sure to go to our Discord link down below in the description. We've got links there, or you can follow us on Twitter. I'm sure we've got it all on our Twitters. At least I do. Yeah. So in other PS5 news, just one more thing. There was 2 patents that have popped up. One today. And one from the other day. The first one is specifically for VR. This came not too long ago. Let me pull up the tweet. This comes from PlayStation Universe. Actually, I'm sorry. God, I've got too many windows open.
I just want to
Always.
pop in real quick and say before we totally wrap up the wrap up,
Yeah,
if you scroll all the way down, there's a free theme you can redeem that looks kind of cool.
right.
Although I guess you can't have themes on PS5.
PS5.
Fuck. All right. That's actually right after the part where they're like, "Thanks for joining the future of gaming with PlayStation 5." My top PS5 game is Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales with 29 hours. Anyways.
Nice. But there was a patent that was released recently. This is still from PlayStation Universe, and it says, quote, Sony files VR patent that lets audience members make decisions and mess with players while gaming. Basically, it shows something similar to what we've had before, but it shows basically people on a couch, and then there's 3 people on the couch with a phone. They're choosing something on the screen. They're choosing to vote, and then the person in VR is like, it says he's looking in VR, and it says spectators have given you a soup ladle. So it's I don't know exactly what this is, but it looks like maybe it's just some kind of patent for some kind of interactive thing. It looks like they're trying to maybe encourage like the social aspect of VR and trying to make some things. I'm down with this. I'm down with party games, right? I don't know if local co-op is something I'm like super crazy about. I don't think that's really, unless there's like something amazing, like even maybe like Jackbox Party or something, but that would have to be, that doesn't necessarily have to be local co-op. So we'll see what happens with this. It could just be nothing, but thought it was interesting because it's VR related.
Yeah, I'm not interested in social VR gaming when it comes to local stuff. No. Local multiplayer. Yeah, I don't have anyone else here. First and foremost, COVID doesn't help that, right? I'm certainly not inviting anyone over to play games, and honestly, like I just don't want to have that separation between me and someone else when I'm playing a game with them locally. If I'm going to play, I see a tail. It's I want to, if I'm going to play a game with somebody, I want them to be in VR as well, and otherwise it just doesn't feel right. It feels like I'm like I can't see you, and you're sitting right next to me. It's like I don't want to play games that way. That's just that's personal. I'm sure there's a lot of people that disagree with me, but I'm not interested in that.
I'd be more interested in something like that lets people online mess with you via some kind of streaming plugin. Like
they've done stuff like that.
Yeah, there's actually funny enough, what do you call it? That game, Super Stardust Ultra VR actually has a streamer mode where you can go on YouTube and based on people's chat comments, it will like make certain stuff happen in the game.
I like that.
And I always thought that was a really cool idea, and I wish more games had interaction like that. Because Bout of Blood did something similar. Pardon me, I don't know why I'm all froggy. I hope I'm not getting sick. Bout of Blood did that with online, but I think Persistence is only in the same room. You can't do it over a different Wi-Fi.
Right.
Correct. I'll be honest with you. I have yet to have one fun experience with something like this, whether it be people messing with stuff over the stream, local co-op. I have not had one single good, like one where both people are having lots of fun, right? Usually it's kind of boring if you're not in VR. And if you're in VR, it's kind of annoying having to rely on the other people or wait for their actions to do something. I think on paper they seem kind of cool, but I don't know. I'm all down for party games in VR. I think we actually need some more party games, but I have yet to see an example of one where it's like everybody actually has a good time. So I like some of the things this is going for, but I don't know. I think we'd all rather be in VR playing together.
I think there are some exceptions to that, though. Like Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. If you've never played that with people in the room, that's awesome. That's super fun with people in the room. And, people will laugh at me for this, but Pixel Gear, when I played that multiplayer mode with some friends, it was actually pretty fun. We had a good time. People enjoyed it. Yeah. So there's a couple out there that are worth playing, but for the most part, it's a gimmick and it doesn't really go that well.
Yeah.
Agreed. It feels very few and far between for the most part. But yeah, no, the few that you mentioned are actually really good choices.
So the other patent, this also comes from PlayStation Universe. This one's a little bit sketchier because they don't actually have any credible sources for this, but it says that it's from Sony, but it says a new patent filed by Sony Interactive Entertainment has strongly hinted that the hardware manufacturer is going to implement Wi-Fi transceivers in its PlayStation controllers. The patent was filed today, February 4th, and read as follows. A computer simulated a computer simulation controller includes both a Bluetooth transceiver and a Wi-Fi transceiver. Player input to the controller generates commands that are sent using both transceivers, such as that a receiving apparatus, such as a game console or web server, can use the first arriving one of two commands to reduce latency. So it's something.
I feel like I'm about to fall asleep in electrical engineering class.
That's
something.
so funny. I was just thinking, can we get Rob Yescom to write these patents, please? It'd be way more fun that way.
But yeah, essentially, it seems like some kind of Bluetooth and Wi-Fi related technology from just skimming through it. And the reason I bring this up is because and again, patents are they come and go. Like some stick, some don't. You never know until you actually see the final product. But I've always thought that the next gen controllers, the next gen PSVR headset and controllers are going to utilize Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.1, Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1. So I was like, there's a possibility that this patented controller technology could be potentially something we see. So just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty good. I'm liking what this is saying. Talking, if you implement this into your PSVR 2 thoughts, I think it all kind of starts making a whole lot of sense. Exciting news, man. Come on, Sony, fucking announce something.
That is it for any PlayStation 5 related news. Speaking of news, breaking news, guys. Right before this GAMESCAST took place, our local news scooper, Hibbsy, noticed something on the PlayStation Store in his region, and that is Layers of Fear has popped up on his store. It's only available for wishlist right now. But guys, Layers of Fear seems like it is imminent. What do you think about that?
Dude, that's awesome news. And for so many reasons. I mean, okay, so first of all, because it seemed like this was just not coming to PSVR. Like Bloober team has said kind of in passing, it sounds like we're going to get Blair Witch, and that was kind of it. This had sort of come and gone, and no one had said anything about PSVR. And so the fact that this just sort of dropped is crazy. I checked.
Hey, no, hold on, wait. It says add to cart in my store.
Oh shit!
But it doesn't say VR. It doesn't say VR anywhere.
Okay, so that's a different listing because it would just be Layers of Fear then, right?
Yeah. So is there a separate Layers of Fear VR listing?
His
so on
VR.
So Dave, if you go on the PlayStation 5 store and you go to the coming soon section and you just scroll all the way to the right and you keep going, I did this and captured footage for the breaking news report. Just to be 100% sure, we love Hibbsy and we trust him implicitly, but I didn't want to just take anyone's word for anything. And so on the PlayStation 5 store, you can actually go to it and there's a full listing, full description. Strangely enough, it says aim controller required, but then it says
oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and then it says moves are also supported. So it's obviously a silly little PlayStation glitch. I don't know who's running that place, but they obviously need a raise. But this is exciting, guys. This is really exciting. Hopefully this will be the first of many Bloober team announcements.
It's funny.
They made
we recently had this. They made something called the Medium, Dave, I think, and they made.
This was Observer. This is Observer that we had the rumor going earlier about possibly a VR mode because of the spray paint on the wall when they were comparing the HD PlayStation 5 version to the original version. That's
the same developer.
Pretty sure.
They did Blair Witch,
and they also did Blair Witch VR. And so like if they are, this could very well be an indication of them like going full force into VR. So
you're right though, they did do the Medium as well, AJ. That is also them.
So interesting how we're seeing these games. Like, I'm not complaining about this, but it's kind of funny how first we had Poker Stars pop up on the store, then now we have Layers of Fear, but we haven't seen them yet. They're not actually available. So it'll be interesting to see what the relation between the time that we notice it on the store versus the time it actually comes out. We'll have to make a note of that. somebody's kind of messing up over there, it seems, because you would think that they would have an official announcement. They probably want to do a more formal way of releasing these games, but still, that is why we have local news scoops and people always looking out for stuff like this, because it's a good sign. More games are on the way that we didn't even know about or expect.
Yeah. I mean, we've been saying for a while, we've been trying to remind everybody that 2021 is looking really, really good for PlayStation VR. Always trying to remind people like what games are still on the way, what games are coming. Developers have definitely talked at length about all the games that they have in the works. And then things like this just pop up out of nowhere. And that's super exciting because, that just means that if this is coming and it's actually coming soon, I mean, the stuff that's on the PlayStation Store that's listed as coming soon, some of it's not anywhere close. Like when we actually have release dates for some of these things and it still says coming soon on the store. And so this could well be a ways off, but still knowing that it's coming just like keeps adding to, how awesome 2021 is going to be. So I'm really excited. And obviously it's a horror game. I mean, I think this is probably a game that was meant to be out in October. I know that guys will left a comment on the breaking news report and said this would have been great in October, and I 100% agree. But I think this is one of the many examples of things that was supposed to be out in October, like the Dollhouse DLC for Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion, and just hasn't made it yet because of fucking COVID or whatever other problems that developers are having, not working in the same room as each other. So this is fantastic news, and I think this is the beginning of seeing what games didn't come out in October that were supposed to. So fingers crossed that it's soon. And it's horror. I love horror games, guys.
I know you are excited about that.
I don't know if you knew, AJ, that I like horror games. Yeah, for sure.
I've heard such things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll have to just keep an eye on this. This, like I said, this broke right before we went on. So that is fresh. Thank you once again, Hibbsy, for posting that and always having our back, dog. In other news, another announcement, guys. There's more announcements happening this week. It's like I said, it's been an exciting week. Actually, there's been a lot going on. Despite no new releases, there's been stuff happening, and one of those things happening, Stride VR finally gets an announcement, an official announcement,
unlike the PSVR Award Show 2020 edition, right? Unlike the announcement that we already made.
I mean, let's be honest here. Don't Look Down and Echoes VR, those never happen. So it's nice to get, and in your defense, Baby Hands, we got an official PlayStation trailer and never actually happened. So, except you never know.
We do know Baby Hands though. I talked to those guys the other day and they were like, it was the day before they dropped it on the Quest. I was like, hey guys, are you still doing Baby Hands? And they were like, oh yeah, absolutely. We're dropping it on Quest tomorrow. And I was like, whoa, that's coincidental. And then I said, what about PSVR? And they said, yeah, it's still coming. It'll be soon. I'm like, wow, Baby Hands still exists and it's out on Quest. Like
they're taking baby steps. They're gonna get there eventually.
Good one. That was my favorite line of the show so far.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much. So I said it.
There is something significant about this Stride VR. Not only did we get the announcement, but they are seeming like the release is not too far away as well.
They said Q1, didn't they?
They originally did say Q1.
Wait,
what are they saying?
Wait, when did they say Q1?
I could have sworn they said Q1.
So wasn't that your video?
For the award show, the only thing they were committing to was 2021, and then
recently I've heard. I'll look it up and see if I can.
And then they said, coming very soon. They said a release date is coming they said it's going to be coming very, very soon. Road
to VR calls it early 2021.
There you go. But in that tweet we saw from them, they made it sound like it's fucking imminent, man. Like it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
So this game is coming very soon, it sounds like.
Yep. They say this is official Joyway VR, posting this on Reddit, actually. They've posted it several places, but this is where I'm getting it from. It says Stride is on track for PlayStation VR release in early 2021. For those who don't know, it is like a fast-paced parkour first-person platformer with like shooting elements. It is like Mirror's Edge VR. if you need an example. Sounds awesome. But there's 3 modes that it's going to be launching with. Arena, it says run freely on rooftops, enjoying the view, completing tasks, and avoiding snipers. I kind of like the survival mechanics I'm hearing here. Endless, test your stamina to beat the leaderboard scores in an endless run. And then time run, match every movement with pinpoint precision while the timer is ticking. One last thing to note here that is very significant, says a major update with a story mode single player campaign will be available in Q3. The game itself will be available on PSVR in Q1 2021. So not only are we getting this game soon, it sounds like, but they are also going to be providing additional story mode content around Q3.
So it's worth keeping in mind. This is an early access game on PC right now still.
Right.
And so, Beat Saber launched on PlayStation VR, I think, when it was still early access on PC, but I can't think of many.
I think that was the day that it went from
early
that access.
Flipped it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But it's rare that you see that, but there have been some instances of it, I think, where a game is still early access on PC, but it comes out on PlayStation VR. So
there's like
expect them to add more, because technically the game's not finished yet on PC. Like, it's not like out.
Yeah.
So
all the reviews I'm seeing so
very
far
positive,
very positive, but also like very like, this could use a lot more content kind of thing. And
for sure.
And so like that's good that they're aware of that and they're bringing more content. But there's a part of me that's like, it's kind of cool that they're not waiting to bring us the full-fledged game. I'm always the guy that's like, oh well, luckily when it gets to PSVR it'll be the full game. And for some reason I'm like too excited to get into this, and I'm like, no, you bring us the campaign later. I just want to get in there and run around and jump from building to building. I
wonder if they'll charge us the early access price on PC, or if it'll be higher price point, because it's technically a finished game on PlayStation, when it comes out.
Yeah,
$20 is the sweet spot, man. $20 is the sweet spot for PSVR games.
Yeah.
I feel like that is like some of the most successful games we've seen do not exceed $20.
I don't know why, but I feel like they're going to shoot for like 25, 30 on this thing.
Good.
I feel like you're right, and then they'll just be like, and more content coming later for no extra charge, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I get it, it's fine. The fact is that this, unlike a lot of other games, like budget cuts launched at what, 30, and we were like, ooh, that was rough. And I'm gonna bet that it didn't sell very well. I think this game, just by its very nature of like, oh my god, it's Mirror's Edge in VR. Like this is like something people have been waiting for. It looks exciting. Sure. This is, you get to shoot dudes and run around and jump. It's like everything that we want in VR. It's exhilarating. I think that they can get away with charging a little bit more, whereas a budget cuts is like, oh, teleportation and like not much action and like lots of loading screens. Like it's I can see the difference in what, maybe not from a quality standpoint, but from what gamers are looking for standpoint, it's like, they'll get their $30, whereas like budget cut probably didn't.
So I don't know, let me know interest levels in chat. I could do the same thing I've been doing with other games, and I could preview this, because I could just buy it on Steam for $20 early access or whatever, and we could check it out, sometime in the next week on the channel, because I like seeing what's coming. And I think this one specifically will kind of get changed in the process, because it's very motion-oriented, locomotion-oriented game. Like thumbsticks to no thumbsticks, they're going to have to tread that carefully, I think.
Well, this is actually, the running is going to be by swinging your arms. It's going to be very much
the old Servio style.
Yeah. And so, and so I don't think that even on PC, and I could be wrong if there's any PC gamers out there in the chat that can tell me, I don't even think this has an option for analog stick for movement. I could be wrong. Real quick, Charlie Jones with the 5 quid donation says, hey, sorry to interrupt. Quick question. I've been trying to find the most realistic sword fighting PSVR game, but I can't make up my mind. Any suggestions?
Most realistic? Swordsman.
I figured, that would probably
Swordsman is badass and has some cool updates planned.
If you're going for realism, then Swordsman, definitely.
Everybody that wanted Blade and Sorcery, they love Swordsman. Thank you for the donation. Real quick, actually, Joyway did tweet. Somebody responded to one of my tweets about this game and were asking about the locomotion, and they responded to them because they seem to be very cool, laid back and stuff. They said free locomotion, swing arms to sprint, tap button to jump. And they said, yeet arms to jump higher.
Yeet.
Yeet.
I love it.
And then sprint. sprint, then crouch to slide. These are the basic movement mechanics. So they've already shared some. Guys, I don't know about you.
They need a crouch button if they're gonna do that shit. Because on PlayStation VR, you can't be ducking too much.
Sprint, then
Like,
crouch.
they
slide.
need a
It's
crouch.
probably a crouch button. I would imagine. I think they just mean like sprint, like when you press this.
No, there's a lot of PC games that actually physically make you crouch.
Crouch,
There's no
yeah.
crouch button. Yeah,
Woo!
like
The
Pop
crunches.
one. There's no crouch button. You gotta fucking get down on the floor.
Two things, guys. One, I think we need to give a special belated birthday shout out to Princess Tegan out there.
Oh,
Oh,
I see we got Todd in the chat. Hopefully hopefully Princess Tegan is watching. Hello, we love you and happy birthday. Hope it was an awesome
happy birthday,
awesome day.
Princess Tegan.
The other
Keep
thing
on-
is that David Moore in the chat with a $2 donation says sneak peek, and a lot of people in the chat are saying they want a sneak peek at this game, Dave. So anybody who's not familiar with Dave's channel, make sure you go subscribe to Dave Station VR on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel, and because he does some awesome PSVR previews over there, playing upcoming PlayStation VR games on Quest with your PC. Is that what it is?
Usually, yeah, I'll do virtual desktop to play it wirelessly on my Quest, and then I'll just stream what's coming out of the actual application on my PC desktop.
Nice.
So, yeah, usually works out pretty well.
It's also Cooter Critter's birthday. Happy birthday to you
Oh
too,
my
man.
goodness!
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Cooter Critters, the GameCast
Wow.
aficionado.
I probably won't see you guys before my birthday, but the 6th, this Saturday, is my birthday as well.
Happy
Yeah, just throwing that out
belated
there.
birthday, February 1st to Julia, the dreams loving game cat.
Wow, so
So
many
many
birthdays. around
birthdays.
here. That's
A
crazy.
lot of
Yeah.
February babies in here.
Shout out to Donatello,
Oh, yeah.
the scientist game cat with the $10 donation. Says, sorry, a little late, but just wanted to say the retro stream was great. Hope it continues. Thank you very much, man. It's definitely going to continue. In fact, I apologize to anybody who liked Saturday morning PSVR live streams. By the time Saturday rolls around, I need a break from VR and from regular content. So I think Saturday morning will be the retro stream day.
Sounds good.
So, guys, I'm a big fan of Mirror's Edge. I'm a even bigger fan of Sprint Vector and To the Top. And this seems like a very similar locomotion system to Sprint Vector, which I know there's a learning curve for a lot of people, or was maybe too physical. But all in all, just the fluid like movements of swinging your arms and stuff, it works so well with games like this. Games where you have to jump and climb up and climb over things and run and slide and shoot. You're going to be shooting too. I'm really, really excited about this game. I think a lot of people out there are really excited about this game.
We should be. And we should be, man. It's like this is, this is a game we've been looking forward to for a long time, and it looks like it's delivering on something I feel like that's been kind of missing in at least on PSVR recently, where it's just like this high intensity action, where it's just like, yes, I'm moving fast and I'm jumping and I'm shooting and I'm leaping and I'm falling. Like, we don't get these kind of games very often. Like I saw a comment recently on. You know what it was? It was on the PlayStation blog. We'll talk more about wins and leaves soon. But somebody was disappointed with the game because they were like, I think of VR, I think of exhilaration or excitement. And I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? I get that. And we haven't had a
I'm all
game
about that.
that looks this exhilarating or this exciting in a while. And, Hitman's great. It's a fantastic game. But, it's a lot of taking your time and, like, understanding what's going on around you and listening to conversations and being stealthy. This just looks like fucking, like, I don't want to say dumb action, but, man, it's just, like, really scratches that, like...
Gameplay, man.
Yes.
It's about the gameplay. Dude, when it comes to VR, there is only one thing that is first and foremost the most important, and that is immersion. That is why VR exists, and that is no matter what kind of game it is, if you are immersed and more immersed than fight gaming, then it's done its job pretty much.
Agreed.
I mean, we have higher standards than that, but I'm just saying, at its core, it just has to be super immersive.
Shout out to Red Rover, Joe Grover right over, the effing Game Cat with $30 donation. Thanks, dude. Really appreciate it. He said, just a heads up, it's not my birthday.
Good to know.
Happy not birthday.
I'll write that down on my
Joe
calendar.
Happy not a
Joe
Red
Grover's
Rover birthday. Right? Absolutely.
Dargans.
Write
Have a
that. You can
Dargan.
write that on 364 days in your calendar. There's got to
Well, I
be a
think-
better way.
I think people in the chat have me and AJ confused because they're asking, will it be a drunk stream, AJ? which that doesn't even make sense.
Wait.
I don't know what they're asking about.
Yeah, it sounds
I
like.
think they mean stride, but probably not. No, I won't.
Also, shout out to Jive Slippers with the $10 donation. Thank you so very much. Right, happy birthday. Mine is on Sunday the 7th.
Oh wow, cool! Happy birthday to you.
Look at that, man. Look at that.
Birthday job slippers.
It's craziness.
But
Shout
yeah,
out to all the
again,
birthdays.
like
We missed
when I
something.
say-
Dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Is
You
that
know,
what-
when I say I'm
Dawning
excited
of the
about this
age.
game, I really mean like this is one of my most anticipated games. So cannot wait.
Nice.
I hope it delivers.
God damn it. Aren't there any Libras in the chat? Come on, where are all the Libras at? Damn.
All right, so believe it or not, guys, that was not the only game announced this week. As you mentioned before, PlayStation Blog posted an article, and also on their YouTube channel, they have a video, and it is for Wins and Leaves, which was just announced. This, guys, is an exclusive, still dropping the exclusives, and this is by Trebuchet, the team behind Prison Boss VR.
It was a fun game. I liked Prison Boss. I
I
never.
didn't get too into Prison Boss, but I like the look of this one.
My problem with Prison Boss was that by the time I got to the second area, like the I don't know if it was like the second cell or the second jails, I don't know what it was. I'd been playing long enough to be like, this was really fun, but I've kind of had enough of it. Like I love the concept, but like I didn't want it to get harder. I didn't need that in my life. I would love to go back and play more of it though, and see like if I could really get into it. But guys, before we talk about this game, can we just? I want to say something real quick. People are always making comments like, "Oh, Sony's dropping support for VR," right? That's we hear that constantly. It's like, "Oh man, I guess Sony's not blah 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 blah." And then here we go. We got not only do we have an exclusive game, but have you guys noticed that all the PlayStation VR trailers recently have a different logo on them?
I did notice that.
In the top left, it's in the
Top
top
left.
left-hand corner now. Is
Dude,
all
we
capital
notice
letters
everything.
with a little like semi-opaque box behind it. It's like you don't just make a decision like that if you're killing off a product. You don't go, oh, we're gonna kill this off. Let's make a new logo and mark the
Yeah.
and mark the trailers with a different look. It's like I love it. To me, this is like one of the 1,000 little indicators that Sony is still doing PSVR stuff. I love it.
Well, other than releasing games and exclusives again, I mean, we just got Hitman, which is a PSVR exclusive.
Is Hitman out?
No Man's Sky just got the patch, a PS5 patch.
Robbie,
is Hitman out?
the English game cat with the $2 donation saying Virgo here. Happy birthday to me in September. Oh, goddamn, you're an early September guy. I'm a late September guy. But we know. We're close. We're like almost snuggling, Robbie B. Almost.
So, listen, man, this game, I got to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to this game, even though it doesn't usually look like my cup of tea here. There's a couple things that stand out. And number one, I'm excited to have something where I'm not murdering somebody for once or something. I'm really down for some more creative, like pretty cool experiences kind of stuff. I love all sorts of games, but it's like I don't like one of just an oversaturation of one style of game. Like I wouldn't want every single game to be first person shooter, is all I'm saying.
I would take every game being a horror game, I think.
I bet you would.
Eventually I would get sick of it if I got new horror games every day.
Yeah. You'd lose like the what makes it special, what makes it different, right?
Right.
But yeah, this does seem like a pretty relaxing, a very pretty game. They described it as there's an interesting mechanics to it. You're basically growing flora and stuff. You're walking around on stilts. It's also going to be a non-linear game, so it's going to be interesting. But guys, one of the most fascinating things about this game is what they had to do to develop this game. During this game, this is in the PlayStation blog. I highly recommend going and checking. Go read this article in the PlayStation blog. This is quote. It says quote, "Wins and Leaves is the largest project we ever made. It was an incredible journey and bumpy ride to work on this game. As if a pandemic wasn't enough, we had to deal with an office fire we didn't need anyway, I guess. Another fire at my house." Ended up okay, but don't make garlic bread. The CEO losing most of his teeth after a bike fall.
It's crazy.
Always wear a
What?
helmet. And our level designer's dog fled during a meeting. He found it after interviewing the whole neighborhood.
So apparently the team at Trebuchet cursed.
Cursed.
Mm-hmm.
They must have opened King Tut's tomb before they made this thing or some shit. What is going on?
How crazy is that? I love that they included this backstory in the PlayStation blog. It is fascinating.
Right. Yeah, and then of course, and then they actually went into a ton of detail about how this game is kind of played. I love that you're walking around on stilts in this game, and that it seems like the move controllers are what allow you to walk around. It's like you're almost like walking with the stilts. You can extend the stilts or shrink them down so that you can reach things on that are like maybe a fruit growing off a tree, something like that. Or if you want to run faster, you can extend the stilts and that'll allow you to do that. Or you can shrink them down to get closer to the ground. Immediately I'm like, ooh, I'm not the biggest fan of a traditional locomotion systems, but I already like the sound of this.
Access, they built the game on Indian burial grounds.
Nice. This is going to be the plot of Poltergeist 4.
I love it.
Irish Assassin 89 with the €2 donation says, I'm a Libra and my birthday's in October, Brian. Hell yeah, man. I'm on the cusp. My birthday's the very end of September. So, again, snuggling. So happy early birthday, my friend. But even outside of the locomotion system, are you guys interested in walking around on stilts? Let's talk about that before we move on.
Sure. Yeah, that could be cool. If they do it seamlessly and you kind of get that feeling of like, whoop, I'm up in the air now. Whoop, I'm down on the ground. Like almost, it's not the same thing, but you remember how Dino Frontier was so seamless with how you could adjust the scale of the world?
Yeah.
Like you could be up God view and then you could be standing next to a guy full size really quickly and really easily. If it's like that, where you just pop them out, you pop up and you're seeing the world from, tree height, that would be pretty cool. I like the concept of that.
I didn't even consider that.
Interesting locomotion.
I didn't consider the
idea,
stilts could make you like tree high or God mode high. I didn't even consider that they could be that big. That's interesting.
I don't know about God mode high, but at least tree level high, I'm assuming you got to be able to get up in the trees and do stuff. Maybe like pick plants, not big plants.
It even shows them climbing trees and stuff.
Yeah.
Fruit off the plants.
Yeah, climbing a tree, right? And that's even separate from the stilts, where it's like, okay, I'm just a dude walking around climbing trees.
Yeah, but I know it won't be like this, but a lot of people in chat, and I had the same thought, is this kind of reminds me of Flower a little bit, not mechanically, but just kind of like vibe wise. And I've always wanted a VR version of Flower. That game seems like it'd be incredible in VR, and really simple to pull off. So
I like
hopefully
what they
this
said.
Captures a bit of that vibe.
I like what they said about they want the game to be relaxing, but they don't want it to be a passive experience. I love that quote because I'm like, too many relaxing games in VR are too passive. Like there's nothing to do.
Mind Labyrinth VR, stuff like that.
Like some of them you walk around, or sometimes you just stand still and you just take it in. And it's like, okay, well, we've had enough of those in my book. It's like I like relaxing, but I want to do something if I'm in a game or an experience. Give me interactivity. Shout out to Nihilist Ryan, the game Feline, with a $5 donation. It says, I'm a Taurus, like that VR game that was supposed to come out but never did, Taurus VR. Oh yeah, I forget about that. That was a
Galaga looking arcade one.
Yeah, I think.
Were we supposed to hear about that in 2020 or was it 2021?
I don't know. I think they've got to deal with perp games, though. It's like the last I heard, and so maybe I'm assuming the game's still in development. It's just
from my recollection, they said that it was going to be a while.
Yeah.
For that one, they said that we're announcing this and stuff, but it's not going to be. It's going to be a really long time. It looked okay, anyways.
So as far as thank you, Nihilist Ryan. But the actual gameplay of this seems pretty interesting too. So you've got cool locomotion, pretty cool art style, and then you're going around and you're basically trying to replenish the flora in this world. So you're like digging holes. They say you're actually going to dig holes, and then you're going to plant seeds, and you're trying to like basically regrow a forest. And you're doing that all manually. You're not just clicking a button, being like, press X to dig a hole, press X to plant a seed, press X to whatever. I like the idea.
Again, have a fun, be immersive, be pretty, have a fun locomotion system. and stuff to do, and I'm all gravy with this.
Guys, real quick, it is 7 o'clock, so I got to bounce for my work thing.
All right.
Have that this week. I don't know if I told you guys already on the chat, but yeah, I got to bounce for a little
You
bit.
told us right before the show, yeah.
No, I mean the chat probably doesn't know that I was
gotcha.
about to disappear out of nowhere. The people who are watching the show, but I'll be back hopefully later on, and catch you guys later.
All right, talk to you soon, bud. Thanks.
All right, so while Bryan gets that taken care of,
I'll do my best. I don't know.
hopefully you have this picture, Bryan, of the Alvo tweet, because we're going to talk a little bit about Alvo and what's going on with that. So there's been a significant update to this. I think I briefly mentioned this last week or something, but just wanted to touch base because they've actually shared some new details about something in Alvo. First of all, I jumped back into the beta. It had been a little bit. I had taken a little bit of a break, was letting them get a couple of updates in, and I went back to it, and I am thoroughly impressed with what they have added to Alvo. They have new character models. There's a new main menu layout that looks a lot better, a lot cleaner, a lot more organized.
It does look a lot
more
better.
And it's a lot more user friendly as well. But some of the coolest features that I haven't even really gotten to dive deep into yet are they added a crouch. I'm sorry, they added a slide mechanic, which is basically you press the crouch button and you'll slide. That is awesome,
dude.
You can also.
And when you're, I don't mean to cut in here, but I kind of want to address each one of these things. To be honest with you, the slide mechanic, I'm not very good at it. I'm running around, I'm pushing L3 to sprint, and then I think it's circle to crouch, which initiates the slide. And sometimes I'm sliding longer than other times, and so I need to kind of come to terms with that. But when I'm playing against somebody who's really good at this. Is it Pajama Dan or Dan Pajama? What the fuck's that guy's name? He's so good at this. He jumps between running and sprinting and sliding and jumping. And so when I'm trying to shoot at him, he's all over the place. And I'm like, holy crap! This guy's got it down. And so it really adds to the tactical side of this. Even when you're just doing free for alls or team death matches, it suddenly seems like you've got tactical things you can do rather than just hide behind the corner and shoot somebody. I like it, man.
It is smooth, and I like how fast the sliding is too. It's not some kind of janky slide. It is you run and you are sliding really fast, and it feels like such a good, I don't know, it just feels really well implemented into the gameplay. On top of that, Bryan, if you continue to hold the circle button, you go full prone. This being with these seem like little things. These are big deals to me. Being able to slide, being able to go prone. I feel like these are very, very, really awesome small things, but with big impacts potentially.
Yeah. Shout out to Alvo VR in the chat with the $5 donation. Says, how's it going? Hey man, thanks for stopping in. I'm assuming that's Steve. It's going well. And then also Todd, the father mucking came get with the $2 donation, says, Bryan, you got to check your phone. It's Shug. He sent me a funny video of Shug. It looks like he's in drag or something. I don't want to spread lies, but the preview looks funny. I'll definitely check that out later, man. Thank you for passing that along. Dude, the prone thing is crazy, right? Because I'm shooting people, and I see some dude laying on the ground. I'm assuming he's dead. And then I get killed because he's shooting at me. And I was like, ooh, that is such a good tactic. I was like, you can pretend that you're dead because you're laying on the ground and just taking motherfuckers out. I love it.
Yeah. Not only that, but this game has a good verticality to it, especially the desert map. There are trees and buildings you can go up to the top of. And dude, Guyson, fist bump to you. Guyson was picking us apart. He was, and you know where he was? He was prone on top of a palm tree. How freaking cool is that? Just sitting there prone on top of a palm tree, just eating us alive, dude. Just having us for dinner. And we could do nothing about it. We basically had to just bum rush him and try over and over again until we finally got him. But yeah, I just love the different things. I love the way this game is coming together. The original character models looked kind of kind of not great. They look really nice now. They look really well defined, well designed. There's a female character now too, which I'm all about. The diversity in gaming, like being inclusive. There's multiple races, multiple outfits and stuff, customization. I'm definitely looking forward to when I could show off some more of this game, but
For sure, because it's looking much better now, much more polished. It felt like a game that was in beta, like when we were playing the beta, which makes sense.
Right.
But now you're seeing like these little pieces of polish, like these little things that smooth everything over. Like you said, the character models do look infinitely better. They looked like really weird before, and they look like they're supposed to now. I'm actually let me see if I can get that picture up, because so far we've been playing in the monastery, the house, the desert, and what's the fourth one? Oh, the town. The town is like my favorite one. It looks unbelievable. But
I like
then,
all the levels so far.
But then Alvo recently tweeted a picture of their newest map that's coming. Let me see if I can't get this up on the screen.
Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and set it up while you're doing that. But so there's a new map coming to Alvo that has he basically said it's still in the works. It's still early, but he's trying to design it after a club, like some crazy club rave thing. The lighting on it looks really nice. It's like got some green lights going around. Looks nice and colorful. Yeah, there's a new level that they're working on. So I'm excited to see that. The levels that are in there are already pretty nice, but it's going to be exciting to see even more. And he was actually asking on Twitter about what names they could come up with and stuff, and for it, and just trying to get some player feedback. That's a big thing about this game, is this game has been shaped a lot from user feedback. And I think that's going to go a long way. Like, always got to pay respects to devs that listen to the people that, listen to see what they want. Of course, always they make the decision in the end, but you got to have lots of respect for developers that actually take the time to listen to see what people are saying at the very least.
Yeah. I feel like they could have pushed this game out like late last year, and it would have gotten like some early interest and stuff, but then the player base might have died out and stuff waiting for updates. So I'm glad that they're holding off and just kind of like tweaking this thing and maybe getting a little bit more content in there as far as maps are concerned. Just basically, I was right, Todd. He is in drag. I felt like I was just like saying random shit. Okay, Alvo says the club might be a stretch for release. That's an idea of how we can stage the large building in the middle, a rave scene. Excellent.
What you didn't see in that picture is that large building is like has like several layers to it, and like several levels to it, I should say, around the edges and stuff. And yeah, I mean, once he told me it was a club, at first I thought it looked kind of like a prison yard kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then once he told me it was a club, I'm like, okay, I see where this is headed. Like, I kind of see how this.
I've been to plenty of raves that look like that.
Yeah, raves aren't my scene. Raves are not my scene.
Well, I can't say raves are my scene anymore, but once upon a time, my friend, every weekend, lots of drugs. So Q1, guys, that's when we should be expecting this, which is only another, I don't know, 7 weeks or so. We've only got about another 7 weeks of Q1, so hopefully we'll see it soon.
And he said, but the map itself will make release, so it's going to be at release have one additional map that we haven't even seen yet. But just had to bring this up because, like I said, the changes that they made were awesome. And any fans of like Call of Duty, if you like Call of Duty, this is the closest thing to Call of Duty in VR I've seen yet. So it is very, very similar, very fast paced for those that, we're kind of like, don't like waiting around in Firewall and stuff. This is very, very fast paced. You are just constantly playing and stuff, and it is constant chaos, and I think that's what people really, really wanted. So
yeah, Chewbacca says it's going to be sad saying goodbye to Firewall, but yeah, it is. This is nice, man. This is a nice change of pace from if you've been playing Firewall nonstop for years now. This is going to be a 400 nice change. Hours. Exactly. So like, I don't ever expect this to replace Firewall. I feel like this is a nice complement to Firewall. It's like this is your fast-paced action game, and Firewall is like your slower-paced team. Like a constant communication, team-based. Yeah, you know what? I didn't get to play in this. I'm wondering if you did. When I jumped into the beta, I couldn't get anybody in Search and Destroy.
Search and Destroy. I didn't play that yet either.
Okay.
I barely got to check it out. It is kind of like there's spots and stuff you have to attack. And then like when you kill somebody or get a kill, they go into spectator mode. So you can kind of continue like Firewall. You kind of can do do call outs and stuff that could really potentially help people. Chuchubaka says it doesn't have kill streaks, does it? It does have kill streaks.
Mm-hmm.
It's got dogs, it's got drones. I think Guyson blew me again. Guyson is just lethal in these kinds of games, and he blew me up with at least 10 drones. Fist bump to you. Stop killing me.
Nice.
Yeah.
The second we're able to start streaming this again or delivering new content to you about Alvo, I know, and I really respect that they are like kind of like hunkering down and being like, we're not ready to like show off the game again until it's been updated and stuff. So the second we're able to, we're definitely going to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, keep up the great work, Steve, and Team Alvo and everybody that is helping. Lots of cats helping out the testing in that. Yeah, guys, just keep up the great work because I really, really like what I'm seeing. And yeah, if you keep going in this direction, you're going to be in a good place.
Absolutely, totally agree. Danorama Pajama, who shot the fuck out of me when I was playing. So Search and Destroy is really good in this game. Alvo says no kill streaks in Search and Destroy, free for all and team deathmatch only. Cool. That makes. I'm going to assume that makes sense when you're playing. All right, man. Let's move along. What's the next story we've got? Move
along. So Saints and Sinners. One of our beloved games from 2020. The
second best PlayStation VR game we have.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe third
Actually,
best? I don't know.
According to your list, it's the first, Brian.
I don't know what list that is. I've not seen said list.
Jamie Feltham
I don't know
from Upload VR posted an article on Upload VR that says Skydance is hiring for next generation of games as The Walking Dead turns 1. So, first of all, happy birthday.
Who's a little good saint and sinner?
It's starting to teen a little bit. Starting to take its first steps.
Wipe that drool off your face. Who's a good boy?
But yeah, they say, but they are hiring right now. And it says they did release no, I didn't apply.
Why?
Because I'll just walk in there and be like, let me do something. I got people on the inside, Brian.
I don't need no application. This job's mine if I want it.
I'll bring this. I'll be like, here's my voucher. No, I'm kidding. But it does say they say they are currently hiring for a number of roles in its VR team. Included among the listings is one for a narrative director to conceptualize and drive the narrative vision of a complex virtual universe, Brian. So let's speculate just a little bit. First of all, also for those who don't know, Trials just released today on the Quest. So any Quest owners that have Saints and Sinners, make sure you go check that out. We've had it for a little bit longer because we're special.
We are special.
But yeah, what do you think they would be hiring for a narrative director? Do you think this is a new IP, a new game, or do you think this is some DLC they might have planned? What are you thinking here?
I think they maybe were listening to people when they said we don't want to stare at a radio while the story's being delivered to us, and they were like, let's get a narrative director to figure out a better way to make this happen.
Nobody said that but you, Brian.
I think
nobody said that.
I think a lot of people agree with me though. I love this game and I don't want to disparage it in any way, except I don't want to stare at a radio when the story's being delivered to me. And I think that's what this game needed was a better narrative director to kind of like infuse that into the gameplay and figure out how this could work while you're playing the game instead of stopping you from playing the game.
Poor little Bryan had to stare at the radio for too long.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And there's like that Joker head that was like almost like a bobblehead sitting on top. I wanted to tear that motherfucker off the goddamn radio and watch the spring stretch out like a goddamn slinky.
Okay, look, maybe a walkie-talkie would be kind of cool so that you can walk around and do stuff. There's also other ways the story is delivered. You go to graveyards and they have these secret folders that give you targets and stuff and stuff. So it wasn't all just that. There was plenty of human interaction.
I think everyone's played it by
other
now.
ways.
I think everyone's played it by now, but I do think that was a failing in the game, and so I like that they're addressing these things, and I'm just speculating here. I don't know if that's why they hired a narrative director, but to see how you can infuse more story into a VR game without it being obtrusive isn't easy, and so you kind like finding somebody who's able to do that. I think would be a huge benefit to the team. Not again. Saints and Sinners is such an amazing game, but addressing how the next game could be better is always something that a team should be doing constantly. That's something we do here. We're like, oh man, how can we make this better? Like we're constantly striving to make things better, and eventually I'll hire a narrative director to write all my voiceovers.
When they talk about narrative director and stuff too, that does make you think Walking Dead, because there's so many decision-making things in the game. Now, whether it's a story-driven DLC or an actual new game, it does say next generation. So they could be gearing up to make a sequel to this game. And by the success that it had, guys, if you recall last week, we said Saints and Sinners announced that, or somebody got the numbers saying that they pulled in like 29 million in revenue. And everybody was like quoting that article saying, remember when everyone said VR is dead, like, and gave them the middle finger? They're like, yeah, these games are killing it. Actually, lots of games have been releasing numbers recently. And, VR is finally, it's not like all of a sudden VR is mainstream. That's not going to happen. But these are the first steps needed to get there, where games are starting to sell the numbers of mainstream AAA titles and stuff like that within a year or two. So it's really nice. This is all good trajectory that we want to see. But yeah, I'm thinking story-driven DLC is what I'm thinking.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
that is really interesting.
Somebody mentioned the tower. I would love to see the tower.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I want any excuse I can get to get back into Saints and Sinners world and play more new content. That would be great. But to be completely honest, I'm hoping that that's a small part of what the team is working on. I'm hoping that a small part of the team is working on Saints and Sinners DLC, while like the rest of it is going full force into like whatever their next big game is, and hopefully on PSVR 2, because like we want, we this was an amazing game and we loved it, but like I'm almost ready to be like, what do you have next? Like like a beyond DLC. Shout out to Donatello the Scientist Game Cat. $5 tip says Saints and Sinners is damn near perfect. Leave it alone. I'd rather have a new IP from Skydance. Yeah, I'm not objecting to that at all. Like I kind of want the best of both worlds, to be honest with you. But like if I had a choice, I'd be like, yeah, just go full force into your next project and get it to us sooner rather than later.
The fact that Saints and Sinners actually has room for improvement is pretty incredible. I mean, this is their second VR game that I'm aware of, at least. Archangel being the first, which was also pretty good, actually, kind of underrated.
You know what it needed, though, was a narrative director.
It did. It had a good narrative, actually.
Yeah.
But no, I think Saints and Sinners, one of the things that could have been stronger was the storytelling, or the characters. I'd say, like, I feel like all the events that happened in Saints and Sinners was really cool. Like, you're like, oh my god, everybody just died from that decision I made. But they didn't do a good job, or no, I shouldn't say that. But I feel like there was something missing about the characters that, like, I didn't really care tons about the characters. They didn't explode with personality, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think so. This will be interesting to see, and like see if they incorporate more like how your decision affects what's going to happen in the game. But yeah, the fact, like you said, man, I'm with you. I think I'm with you there in that I'm ready to see like the next game. But that being said, I am so down for some more DLC on this game because I have played again lots of the trials and I have a lot of fun with the trials, and it's really good. Kind of like how you love the Resident Evil 7 DLC. I love trials and going back in there and playing that often.
Oh, I love Trials too. I don't play it often though. I've played it a couple times, and that's been the extent of it. I would like to get back there and get good at it. What are your thoughts on? I see the chat talking a bit about multiplayer support for Saints and Sinners. Would you like them to try to shoehorn multiplayer into this, or just have that in mind for a full-fledged next project?
If I were them, I would save it for the next project. I know people would love this, love that, but it just, this game wasn't designed with this in mind. I'd honestly rather see multiplayer in Onslaught, to be honest with you, because I feel like that game was kind of more designed for multiplayer. The trials and stuff would be fantastic with multiplayer. I would absolutely welcome it, but I'd rather see them design from the ground up experience with co-op in mind, rather than trying to shoehorn it in.
Yeah.
I know I could very well be the minority on that, though.
The fact is, I like what you're saying. I know it's not one or the other. It's not, I'd rather see it in Onslaught. And you're like, okay, well, we'll do it in Onslaught instead of Saints and Sinners. There's no correlation there whatsoever. But I got to agree. I do agree with you. It's like Saints and Sinners is already an amazing game. And Onslaught could certainly use the multiplayer that got stripped out to make it more
as a game mode
fun.
Like I think a multiplayer game mode like Trials, like a built from the ground up multiplayer Trials would be amazing in the second one. And this time, when you call it the meat grinder update, how about some grinders? How about some meat grinders? Some rolling things like Temple of the Doom style. Some rolling things with teeth on it to push zombies into.
Kalima.
But I think
hot. Sorry, well, I'll just go through the whole movie.
The biggest thing they could do for a sequel is obviously new locations. Like I've always said, I would love to see a city. Like I would love to see zombie games in cities are so fun and exhilarating, and we don't get a lot of them, if any. We had one taste of Contagion Outbreak that was in the city. That was amazing, being in that city and stuff. And somebody like Skydance, with all the talent and resources they have, would be incredible. I still want my brass knuckles. I still want my chainsaw, my crossbow if possible. And I just want some new locations in this game. I'm not convinced that they're done with this game, because they came out during the announcement of Trials or something. They said we've still got more in store. So I'm excited to see what else they have with this. But for a sequel, the best thing I could see is more like better, like, exactly what they're hiring for. Narrative director, the storytelling. If they get like a story that really hits you in the feels and like makes you cry, this game would be just like basically up there with like Last of Us in terms of the impact that it has. If they nail the story, add a co-op Trials mode, that's going to be a huge game.
Let's do this with Saints and Sinners too. There's so much that we want from this game.
Yeah.
That, like, you know what? I kind of agree with Donatello at this point. Don't fuck with it, man. It was great. We loved it. It was amazing. It's still, hopefully it's still selling really, really well. Continues to sell really well. But now it's time to take that money and time and invest it into a full-fledged sequel with everything that we really want, including unicorns and rainbows.
Yes. Riding a unicorn.
PS5 4K gameplay says, I want a pet dog in Saints and Sinners. Yeah, we can Fallout 4 the fuck out of this thing.
I'm all about pets and games.
Yeah.
Just don't take it from me, or else I will die. But yeah, man. So we'll have to wait and see what's going on with there. Obviously, we're going to see a lot more projects from a lot of teams over the next couple of years. There's a lot of games that are going to be beginning development right now, and we're not going to see for a couple of years. So it'll be great to get some stuff for Saints and Sinners added on if they choose to do that in the meantime, while we wait on a sequel. Like you said, break up the team a little bit.
Yeah. All right, man. So, well, good luck. I hope you get your application in, and I hope that, it's been a lot of fun having you here without Parole. I hope you get the job, though. We always want to see our friends succeed. We want to see our enemies succeed even more.
I told them that I would only ever I told them they have to add me in the game only if they could kill me. Only if they made you have to kill me in the game. So all that stuff from the thumbnails. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
David Moore with the dollar donations, with saying nothing except showing us a picture of a unicorn. I like that.
It's a beautiful unicorn.
It's beautiful. It really is.
There's so many directions for this game that could go. Boat scenes, action scenes.
Boats.
So many things.
Yeah, boats would be great.
Cities, forest. How creepy would it be running through a forest? Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So in other news, we've heard from a game, Monad Rock, Brian. Monad Rock. Dios Mio is correct, because they have come out of the woodworks and said from a tweet, long time no see. Monad Rock is constantly working on Blunt Force, and we are back with some news. Recently, our code team upgraded our Unreal Engine to the 4.26 version. Now we will roll with development. This isn't the first game that I've seen talk about upgrading their engine. Seems like a lot of people have been upgrading their Unreal Engine for PS5 or whatever it is. But Blunt Force, Brian.
Blunt Force. Well, it's crazy that they're still working on this game, because where the fuck is Sports Island, guys? Summer. But that was supposed to be the DLC for Summer Funland that they put out, and they teased that, and we're like, yep, it's coming. We never got it on PSVR, and it's like, so like, I'm a little curious to know what's going on behind the scenes over there. If like this is still in development, and like this, and what I'm showing here is this trailer's from like 2 years ago or something, and then we never got the Sports Island thing. It's like, well, what is happening? Like, what is going on? And what is the delay really? Like, oh, we just upgraded our engine and it's taking us years. I mean, obviously this game looks phenomenal, right? The detail here looks amazing. I'm thinking PSVR 2. I'm thinking they would try to make this on PSVR, and they were like, well, so much detail. I think we need to wait for next gen.
Well, I think a lot of games we're going to see that are in development right now that we've been following, I think we're going to end up seeing, if there's any chance they come, it's going to be PSVR 2. Most likely I see PC and Quest being targeted a lot with their sales and stuff, stealing a lot of thunder. But you never know. And this is a team that really hasn't proven a whole lot to me yet. So like I can't get super excited about this game. I think it looks cool. I think the gameplay looks great. But when you talk about Summer Funland, I'm like, doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. That I didn't find that game to be very good. Not a good experience, not a fun game. Very short-lived, really blurry. So they got to prove it to me first. I will always give developers the first chance to impress me, but there's nothing about this. The development hell it's gone through, fingers crossed. Best of luck to you guys over there. Well, no matter what happens.
I'm going to disagree on Summer Funland about you said it's not a great experience. I agree it's not a good game, but as far as the experience goes, I was like, I like this. I liked walking around the park, and I thought it looked pretty nice. At least on the Pro. I guess on the OG it didn't look nice. I thought the park looked pretty nice, and it was super colorful, and there's like, the roller coasters going by, and like the hot air balloons going by, and there's like a lot of motion and people walking around, and you're exploring the park, and you're trying to find like those little stuffed animal things, little stuffed monsters, and I was like, this is fun. But then you go and play a game, and like all the games were kind of crappy. So I actually enjoyed the park, but I didn't enjoy a lot of the rides and stuff like that. There were a few things that I thought stood out. I thought when you actually get on a hot air balloon and like you're throwing stuff through rings, I was like, oh, this is kind of fun, and I really liked just like the visual presentation of it all. But as far as
like the art design, but an art design can only go so far for me when it's smeared in Vaseline, and especially now that we've seen how that games are capable of looking really good, even on a PS4 Pro or an OG PS4.
Yeah, absolutely.
The resolution. You got to be able to at least match the resolution of the headset.
Yeah, well, yes and no, right? It's like
You're close to it.
obviously it's going to take some work. It's going to take some work to get there and a lot of money. Like, we look at Hitman and go, Jesus, this game looks fucking incredible. But
Yep.
again, like this is what happens when Sony throws millions and millions and millions of dollars at you to get it done.
True.
A lot of small dev teams are getting these like, these games out for under, probably a couple million. I wouldn't even like to start guessing what some of the super small indie teams, what kind of budget they're working with.
Tens of thousands usually is what I've seen in the past.
For what give me an idea of what level of game are we talking about? Tens of thousands is a super small amount of money. How small of an indie game are we talking?
I don't like small in terms of graphical fidelity and textures and stuff, but actually big in terms of content. I'd
Okay.
say about what was it, like 40,000, 50,000, something like that.
Okay. Shout out to Danorama Pajama with the 10 quid donation. Says all games need a slide mechanic,
I agree.
just like all games
Mega
need
Man.
a jetpack.
Mega Man invented the slide mechanic in video games, and it's forever. Did it? Maybe.
I'm trying to think
don't
of
remember anything.
another old school game.
Nobody did it better. Nobody did it better than Mega Man. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, man,
I
this
agree
is
though.
nerve-wracking.
Sliding is a lot of fun, and like when I've tried that out in Alvo, that's one of the things that got me interested in Solaris. Like I saw Solaris and I was like, okay, I don't know about going from Firewall to this, but then they showed the sliding mechanic. I'm like, this is the one thing that I could really like, and it was from playing Crisis. When I played Crisis 2 multiplayer and stuff, that game had sliding mechanics. That was a lot of fun. Works well with first-person shooters.
I'm doing a little research here to figure out the answer to a question we got in the chat. So to answer, don't mind me here, to answer, Patrick M says, when are you going to do the next top 25 debate? The last top 25 list came out November 19th of last year, obviously. So November, December, January, February. You know what? We got to do the next top 25 debate within the next couple weeks. So we'll have to see
It's
how
gonna
that
be
fits.
a tough one, man.
Yeah. I think I almost feel like there's so much stuff happening over the next month or two that I almost feel like we need to give it an extra month. But we'll see. I'm going to see if we can kind of work it into release schedules so that we can get as many new games, give as many new games a chance as possible. Because man, it's like, for me, like I desperately want a really good kart racer, and if Dash Dash World makes the transition over to PSVR as well as we think it will, like for me, that's going to be a top 25 game, and that's a Q1 game, so definitely hopeful on that. Oh man,
But yeah, Blunt Force, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, to me, it's going to be, unless they go big with this, it's going to end up being a little too late for me. But I'll give everything a chance, man. I can't. I
wait,
take
Blunt
that
Force
back.
is going to be too little, too late.
I have a feeling it's going to be too little, too late, or we might not see it, or something doesn't feel right about this game. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, though. I don't mean to be too judgmental, but I'm doing this for a long time. I'm not as rose tinted glasses as I used to be. It looks cool. It looks actually really good. World War II and stuff, but Sniper Elite is probably coming out way sooner than this is, and probably going to be better.
What game did you say is going to be better than this?
Sniper Elite.
I mean, I would say that's
Sniper
pretty
Elite
likely.
is hype.
I would say that's pretty likely. Yeah. Although it is a small team, the team that Rebellion has working on that is a very small team. So I really, really hope. I hope that both of these games are great. Fingers crossed, man.
Of course, always hope for every game to be great, but
That's true. That's very
I
true.
don't expect them all to be great. I just think it's a tall order.
I don't expect any of them to be bad. I hope for the best and keep my fingers crossed. I do love horror. A lot of people in the chat say I'm waiting for more horror games to come out before next top 25 list. Anorama says
Brian's year.
Brian loves horror. It is, dude. This is my year, man. Like Layers of Fear is just the tip of the iceberg. We got Hinge coming after that.
Wraith.
We got Wraith coming again early 2021. We don't know an exact date on that. Summoner VR, potentially Blair Witch. I mean, this is going to be a
I'm
fun
down
year.
with Blair Witch, and I'm down with Wraith.
You down with the
hinge does look
Dollhouse?
good.
You down with the Dollhouse?
Oh, the Gauntlet from
Yeah, in the Darkness from Fallen Planet
Affected.
Studios for the Affected the Manor. Absolutely, man. This is my year. God, 2021 looks pretty good after all. Maybe I will stick around. It's awesome.
All right. So moving on, we've got some news about some Hitman DLC. I saw a lot of chit chat on the Discord today. Hitman 3, as I mentioned for my should we or shouldn't we, absolute should we. Man, they've announced their kind of February roadmap. They've got a bunch of content dropping. Dear God, Shughead, I just saw his post on Twitter. What is wrong with you, Shug?
Is this the drag thing?
that is not what I was looking for. Yes. I wonder what that's for. Anyways, looking good, Chug. DLC coming to Hitman 3. They've got new escalation contracts, things like that. And yeah, it's going to add a lot of content. Now, as far as we know, it's a little hit and miss when it comes to the escalation contracts. Some things seem to be playable in VR, some of them don't. The contracts that are made by like people, user generated, are not playable in VR. But some of the access pass escalation stuff does seem to be. So I'm really hoping personally that this one does have VR support, because you get to become a ninja, Bryan. A ninja with a sword, Bryan.
Sweet.
I'm excited about that.
I'm excited too. Yeah.
Like you look like Snake Eyes or something from G.I. Joe, for those who don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, from Cobra Command. Is that right? Cobra Command? Was that the...
Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's exciting. So yes in VR? Yes and no? No in VR? What's the deal?
We'll have to find out exactly.
Okay.
But it seems like the escalations are going to be in VR, hopefully, because I'm obsessed with sword fighting. I just got one of the challenges in Hitman 3 the other night, that was finding a sword and killing a target with it. And it was awesome. It was amazing.
Excellent.
What up, Hugh Guyver?
Hell yeah.
Bryan.
Cousin Max is hi. What up, Hugh Guyver? PSVR without parole. Fire, fire, fire.
Can you say more than 3 sentences about,
no,
or 3 words about this?
Dude, I'm excited, man. More Hitman is good Hitman. Like, that's awesome. It's you know, the fact is, like I said earlier in the show, I have not seen everything they've given us yet. I haven't come close to seeing everything they've given us yet. And you know, and I'm actually about to spend a whole lot of time in Hitman 1, so I'm going to get even further away from Hitman 3 for an upcoming project. So I'm excited that it keeps there's so much stuff, but yeah, I don't have much to say, because it's like, man, it's just going to keep building, and I'm going to get crushed under the amount of content that I have to get caught up on. Hey, Hugh Guyver says, Cousin Max says hi. PSVR with a pro, fire, fire, fire. Thank you so much for the donation, Hugh Guyver. Really appreciate it. You didn't need to donate, man. We were going to read that anyway. We love you. But I mean, what do you think, man? It's like you haven't seen everything there is yet. It's like, is it? I mean, I don't want to say is it getting to be overwhelming. The game just came out, and eventually hopefully we'll have some DLC maps. They're talking about upcoming content, but not new maps. I mean, where are you at with all this?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, I would be very happy to have these escalation missions with it. But really, I've just been enjoying the base game, man. Yeah. Hitman 3, I've just been playing Hitman 3 by itself. There is so much content and so much to do. This Chongqing and Berlin levels are absolutely blowing my mind right now. Those are like my favorites at the moment. Also Dubai, big shout out to Dubai.
Shout out to Dubai.
Shout out to Dubai.
Right? Out of context, that's fantastic.
No, the deeper I go into Hitman 3, the better it gets. I'm killing people with cranes and like causing these bizarre accidents, pushing people into grape grinders and stuff. It's just so much fun, man. I am having so much fun with this game. And as you replay the levels over and over, you first of all, like, it's got me to where I want to replay the levels, like I don't want to leave. Like, I beat one and I immediately go back in and experience the level from a new angle or a new way.
Yeah.
And like, it's so rewarding to do so, because like in Chongqing, for example, that has like the kind of cyberpunk look to it on the outside, this neon China looking place, and then but you actually follow the story from different angles, and it really gets into like these deep character like arcs and stuff, storylines and relationships and personalities, and they're so fleshed out, and depending on what you do, you get to experience the story and the same NPCs, but like different dialogue, different events that play out in so many different ways. And it is just absolutely incredible. It is breathtaking.
Scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the least likely, 10 being the most likely. What are the chances this game gets move support eventually?
9.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm right around the 9 as well.
9.
Yep.
I think this roadmap stuff they've done is great, but I think we have something else in store for us, and I think they're going to release a patch that fixes some of the bugs, which there's not a bunch of them, but there are some, and I think they're going to release a patch for the bugs, and with that is also going to come move support. This game already almost has motion controls. It is like, literally, I've said this 1,000 times now, it is like 60% there. It is so close to already having move support. They just need to just tweak it a little bit and get it in there, and it's good to go. Done. And and make sure when you turn off grid that it actually turns off. That'll be in that patch too.
Yeah, there are definitely some small tweaks that need to happen, and I don't see, if they had done this without any motion controls, if they had done this from the ground up with no motion controls, and like you were just walking around and your hands were by your side the entire time, and you'd walk up behind somebody and just hit a button, like, I get it. That's not going to get move support, or it's going to be very unlikely that they have to like rebuild like the engine to make it work. But like you said, it's halfway there, maybe more than halfway there.
You can stick out the DualShock and you can push people over and stuff without, it's not button prompts. Like, you literally reach out your arm and push things over and stuff. And yeah, there's like things you can do. It's just already almost there. Like, it's like you're exactly right though. If it didn't have any kind of support, any kind of motion controls, I'd be a little bit more concerned, kind of like Minecraft or something. I know I've said that, I gotta say, man, I know we all want move support. I am 110% team move support. But I will say I love their DualShock controls that they put in there. I really do like the fact that there's some motion to it, adds to the immersion for me. I am a little easily immersed because I can get into games like really easily and stuff. But I do think they did a great job with the DualShock 4 and not just doing a bare bones.
There's a lot of stuff that would have been hard to do with motion controls, though. Like, imagine putting on a disguise without a button prompt. Imagine picking a lock without a button prompt. Like,
but I don't think anyone's saying that button prompt shouldn't be there. Dave, thanks for joining us.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm almost back.
Just saying, in place of that, the DualShock motion, it's just move motion. I think that's all we're going.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, yeah, locomotion with the moves. Yeah, that's easy.
Guys, do you ever go your whole life without hearing an expression, and then suddenly you just hear it nonstop?
What's that?
Mick Coles. Okay, so first of all, Danorama Pajama says, in the club, the Berlin stage, says, I just stood there dancing for a few minutes. Put your hands up. And then Mick Coles responds by saying, throw some shapes, Danorama Pajama. And I feel like this is like the 4th time this week I've heard the expression "throw some shapes," and I've never heard it before. And
apparently, shapes. Apparently, is that what we do the YMCA?
No, it's literally just dancing. It means dancing to popular music. And I just looked it up. It's apparently a slang that's used frequently in the UK, which I guess is why I haven't heard it outside of like when we're hanging out with the cats, because my everyday life, there's no British people hanging out in my everyday life. Strangely enough, it's really sad. I wish there were more British people hanging out in my everyday life. Maybe I'd learn some more slang. Yeah. Welcome back, Dave.
Yeah, man. So, Dave, you play any more Hitman 3 lately? Hitman?
Oh, of course.
He played last
Absolutely.
night.
Yeah, I'd streamed some of it, and I played some last night, I think.
You streamed some last night?
He
No,
did.
I don't think I streamed. Wait,
Okay.
Oh wait, I thought you did. Maybe I got my days
did
wrong.
I don't think it was last night.
I apologize. I don't know. I can't keep up with shit.
All right. So, but yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on this. But yeah, Brian, to answer your question, but Dave, why don't you answer this as well? Brian, you need to answer it too.
I don't know. I don't have to answer
Do
shit.
you guys think? Do you guys think it's going to get move support?
I already said
Nope.
9. I was with you on the 9.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. And Dave's saying no.
Nope,
saying
don't
no.
think so.
Non-believer.
All right.
I mean, why would I believe in something that they never offered or promised or said that they would do?
They never said it wasn't. They never said it was completely off the table.
I don't think it's going to happen, but maybe.
Hey,
You never know.
Wait,
there's
so
no.
on a scale from
there's
1
no
to 10,
you're
then?
wrong here. You know.
On a scale from 1 to 10, 9,
Yeah,
10
scale
being the
from 1
most
to 10.
likely and 1 being the least likely.
There you go.
Where are you at, Dave?
Like a 3,
All right. So small possibility, but very
Strongly opposed.
maybe.
Okay.
I'm not opposed. I just don't think it will happen.
Well,
but,
yeah. Sorry. All right. So, final news story of the day. Down and Out by Zatoon Games. This is a game we first got to look at months ago, and we talked about, and it is an open city kind of brawler, is what it's supposed to be. A new breed of fighting game that blends the best of your favorite brawlers with the immersion of first-person VR. Get ready to carve out your destiny on the city streets with nothing other than your fists VR controllers. This game is planned for release this May 2021 for Steam, Oculus, and PSVR. Now, they have made it clear that they said that it's probably coming to PC and stuff first, and then likely coming after. So I wouldn't expect it just yet, but
interesting. I apologize. Vamp, I'll be back.
what do you say?
I said, Vamp, I'll be back.
Yeah, he wants us to vamp. So AJ, what's going on in your life these days?
Maybe
you
about
know.
Down and Out. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
No.
So I just wanted to clarify this. I just looked up the most recent press release that I got from these guys literally 7 days ago. And so it says the game is planned for release this May for Steam, Oculus, and PSVR. And so,
Right. And I don't, it seems a little weird. Some of I've heard both things. I've heard that, that's obviously what that says, and that's what I typically go by. But then I've had people responding to me saying, no, it's probably coming a little bit after, because they said before that they've messed up the messaging on this a little bit.
Okay.
But for now we'll say May 2021 because that's what it says in the latest press release.
yeah, I've talked extensively with these developers recently, and they have been saying May. So
Okay.
let's keep our fingers crossed that that's accurate.
Yeah. There's something interesting about this game. The first time we talked about this game, Dave had brought up some of the kind of politically incorrect issues they had with their marketing on this. They were referring to kind of like bum fights, and some really things that, Dave was very vocal about, being plenty of people too, saying it seems like it's in poor taste.
Yeah.
And what's funny about that is this new press release, all of that is gone. It's now just about a brawler with mini games in a city, and discovery and stuff like that. And so I don't know if they were listening, Dave, or if tons of people gave them feedback like, hey, this is kind of not cool. Like we get that there's better things some people might be offended by this, calling it this. It's not something we're necessarily proud of as a culture. um, but yeah, they've changed all that and made it more just like into different things, but key features, fighting. There's open world play style where there's like free roam. There's quests. You mark your territories with graffiti. There's stuff to interact with and mini games, like I said, and then there's items and bonuses all throughout the city.
Yeah, it's hopefully, hopefully they're just smart enough to say, hey, this doesn't seem right, and we want to make our game, enjoyable for everybody, and less of this. When you put out a game, the last thing you want it to be is be like, oh man, these people are very insensitive. Like it takes the messaging away from what the game is. And if this game is going to be good and it's going to be fun, then the last thing you want is like the narrative that surrounds it to be, that it's totally inappropriate. It takes away from whatever's good about this game. So hopefully, hopefully it's good, clean, wholesome, politically correct fun. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I mean, look, I just like to focus on the game, and I'm all about making the change so that there is no distraction. Like if you're just trying to make a fun game and you're using terms that are going to get to people, then I'm all for changing that so that you can just focus on what it's really about, which is having fun and everybody having a fun, and that's what it should be about. So,
yeah, I do like the concept. It's like you work your way up from like you are on the street, and like you're fighting other people on the street, and and you build your reputation the whole time. And so it's like it's so easy just to be like to stop calling it bum fighting and just be like, yeah, you're working your way up and building your reputation. It was a very very simple move and probably a smart move.
I would agree.
But yeah, looking forward to this one. So that is it for the most recent news. Like I said, tons of stuff going on. But there's actually more. There's some that we cut out that we can't wait to share next week. But as for new releases, there was only one new release this week. Bryan is going to have to take the lead on this one because I think he's got something to say about Spice and Wolf 2. Take it away, Bryan. I'll be right back.
Okay. So here's the thing.
Just vamp, Bryan.
I will vamp. You guys just see you later. Yeah. So I actually bought Spice and Wolf 1 VR when it came out, like mid last year, and I was like very disappointed with it. I've never seen the anime, never paid attention to any of the manga or the light novels or anything. And this is not going to rope new people in. And so I was like, but what it was like 20 minutes, I think, of like you basically sit there. You're Lawrence, one of the characters in the game, and there's this other character, Holo, this wolf girl, and you just sit there and you listen to your dude talk and you watch him talk to her, but you're sitting in the same exact place for 20 minutes. And as the conversation plays out, it's not translated. It's Japanese voiceovers with English subtitles, and it's super boring. Like they're not even having an interesting conversation. They're acting like an old married couple that are fighting about finances. And then like there's a small interactive element to it when it's all done, where your DualShock becomes a hand and you can pet Holo. And it's just, the whole thing is very weird. Like, but you can see the entire game in like 25 minutes, and it costs $25. And that was Spice and Wolf 1. So I was like, okay, well, let's, for the sake of the channel and my own morbid curiosity, let's see what Spice and Wolf 2 VR is all about. And apparently they didn't learn anything, which is a real shame, because the game, one of the things the original game had going for it was that Sophie, the Kitnochi game cat, we mentioned Concrete Genie at the beginning of the show. I think, pretty sure. One of the things the original game had going for it was that the graphics were super crisp and clear. Like the game looks pretty good. I mean, it's all in like one environment. Not a lot happens, but it was super crisp. And then the second you start up the second game, it's got this kind of bore to it, where the resolution's dropped just enough where it's like distracting. You're like, what? Why doesn't this look as good? It's the exact same story too. You're sitting in one environment, you're sitting in one place, you're not moving, and you're just kind of watching the story play out. And somehow the story's worse than the first one was. This time they're talking about like fur trading, and now it's like further along in the series, and they have a daughter, and so there's 3 characters involved. And man, it's terrible. It's like it's just.
So I gotta ask,
yeah.
Do you have any familiarity with the source material, like Spice and Wolf, like the manga or the anime? Me neither.
I don't.
Because I mean, I feel like maybe if you knew something about this game, that'd be a cool storyline. But the presentation on these is just so bad. Like subtitles in VR, first of all, are hard because like they're in a fixed location, but you want to move your head around, so you're constantly like looking down with your eyes at the bottom of the. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, this one does a better job of keeping the subtitles kind of right in front of you,
centered in the. Okay, well, that's still. I mean,
it's
kind of immersion breaking if you have to read the whole thing in VR. Like if it was a visual novel, I get it. You're gonna read, but like if it's fully voice acted, come on.
Yeah.
With what they're charging, they could easily get some. Knock out the VO in an afternoon if it's like 25 minutes long. Like come on.
So I'm
doesn't
with
have
you.
to be great, but.
I know I'm with you, and so strangely enough, I don't know why I decided to do this, but I was like, if I'm going to spend $25 and now $50 on both games total, I better get as much content out of this as I possibly can. We're going to talk about it on GAMESCAST.
Well,
I'm going to do a review. I've already got the review almost done. It'll come out tonight, I think.
Have you streamed this or no? Did I miss that?
No, we're not streaming this. This is because again, it's all.
It'd be the most boring thing ever, I'm sure. Yeah.
So boring. It would just be a hangout session where like we're just turn the volume down from the characters because no one understands Japanese except people who understand Japanese, and I think that's going to be a very select few of people watching. And so like it would be so you're sitting in the same place the entire time, both games, and so the second game, the only thing that it does better, quote unquote, than the first game is the story is like 12-15 minutes longer, so it's like a 35-minute story instead of a 20-minute story.
But you said it was more boring than the other one, so
the story is not. Yeah, right. So it's not better.
Better in that case. Bigger better.
Dude, there was a
better
point.
Story at 25 is
There was a point today where I just took off my VR headset and put it on the couch next to me and just went for about 7-8 minutes where I was just like, I'm just gonna like read the subtitles, and then after a while I didn't read the subtitles and I came back and I put it on. I didn't miss a beat. Like they're still talking about like fur trading and stuff, and I was like, this is so boring. And so you asked if I had any familiarity with the anime, and the answer is no. But also if they did this to Death Note or Attack on Titan or any other fucking anime that I like, dude, I would be so angry. I'd be like, show me something interesting. Tell me a good story. Let me do something. And let me tell you something about this. Holo, according to Wikipedia, because I needed some background information, is like Holo is a 500-year-old wolf deity. But
why do you get to pet her?
But appears
weirdly infantilizing. If you're a 500-year-old deity, come pet me. What the fuck is that about?
She took on the appearance of a 15-year-old girl, and you pet her. And so to make things even weirder and creepier, is in the sequel, you have a daughter, and during the interactive part of that, I hate air quotes.
You don't pet the daughter, do you?
You pet both of them. And it's like you're all sitting there all together watching like a slideshow, right? And they're talking and you're talking and she's talking and they're both sitting just a little bit in front of you. And so you like pet their heads, their ears, and their tails. And the whole time I'm just like, this
so it's become
so
a petting
skeevy.
threesome, but now your daughter is involved, which is not cool. Where's her mom in this scenario, by the way? How does mom feel about all the
she's sitting
petting?
right there. She's sitting right there. The mom's sitting right there. Like they're both there.
Oh, wait, the mom is the wolf deity?
Yes.
Oh, so this 500-year-old lady who turned into a 15-year-old girl got pregnant by the dude, and then now they're... Okay, I don't like this. It's a bad lineup, like what's going to happen to this next daughter?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man. So the enemy... Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, this brought up an interesting conversation that Bryan and I had earlier on the phone where we were talking about kind of like we see a lot of this style of game coming from Japan. It seems like a really popular style thing to do in Japan, but Bryan kind of stumped me, but we were like, But do they actually like these games? We've had like these One Piece pirate things, the Persona add-on stuff. A lot of these, what Bryan calls like dressing room simulators.
Dressing room
Even
modes,
the influence in like everybody's golf, where you saw some of that influence.
You
Where
got to go on dates with these Lolita girls. Like
you go on these like little dates or little whatever you call it, escapade things. And so, you know, I told Bryan, I was like, you know, this seems like a really big thing, like that is like popular for a different culture and something we could be missing. But he corrected me in saying, but we don't actually know if they even like it or not.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see. It would be interesting to find out like stuff like this, you know, what other cultures, what Japan in particular feels about these kind of games. Do they see this and they go, yes, I just want to be in VR and experience this? Or are they just like us where they're just like, this
there has got to be some element of the Japanese population that does actually like and appreciate these things,
right?
because all I'm saying is like, so this kind of mode has been in VR, PlayStation VR, since the beginning. Like I was buying weird ass Japanese games or these free to play little, you know, experiences, whatever, you know, years ago, and they were always like this. Like it's some weird dressing room thing, or it's just like watching a lady like, oh, I'm gonna undress behind this thing, and there's, you know, it's weird. And then there's stuff like petting people and dressing them up. It's a little funky, but they keep making the modes anyways. So which makes me think that somebody out there is like,
I told them at the very least, we know
we
at the very least know that the developers are super into these kinds of things. Whether or not the consumers are, we don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, in my experience, I skip on most of these because they're just like I don't get them. I don't like them. I don't feel comfortable with them.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just not fun. They're not a fun game or experience for me. So I usually pass on these.
I like
there's only a few that I could say are worth picking up. Like Horror Sense is definitely one, but that doesn't fall anywhere in this category at all. Kowloon's Gate is really cool, but like a lot of these like Japan only games are exactly what AJ was just describing. Like you're not missing out on much because it's just some weird, creepy summer lesson spin-off.
We look at it as strange. It could just be a cultural difference thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you want to have a whole game about dating 15-year-olds, that's a cultural thing. I understand. I get it. I watched plenty of anime, so I get it. You know,
well,
I don't watch that much.
Yeah, I've watched plenty of anime, and I like weird anime, man. It's like No Game, No Life is like about a brother and sister and video games and shit, and it's like almost incestuous, where I'm like, all right, I can get into this. I'm like, it's fucking weird, just whatever, man. And but this was just so uncomfortable, where it was like, I'm supposed to pet you now.
Yeah. Do you get any kind of reward or like a trophy for petting them? Because that'd be even weirder. I got some trophies. Platinum, you got to pet them just the right way.
There's no platinums either, so $25 ain't getting you no platinums. $50 ain't getting you 2 platinums. Yeah. So again, this is sort of like your, you know, and if there's any Spice and Wolf fans out there that's like, yeah, David Moore, somebody's Discord messages are blowing up. I keep hearing that.
I just muted it. Yeah, I muted my other laptop.
It's like the fact is, it's like there's, I can't even say fans of this series will like it, right? Because you're hoping, you would hope that fans of this series would want a game, like something to do, in a more interesting story, something to, you know, that's exciting to be like, oh my god, I can't believe they just said that, blah 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 blah. There were like maybe like one cute moment in the first game and one cute moment in the second game where I was like, oh, that was kind of cute, okay, and then like the rest was just like, when is this gonna fucking end, man? They're talking about nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, so if you're into an anime and then you want to play a VR version of it, it should be at least as engaging as watching it on a flat screen. And on a flat screen, there is no anime that's just two people sitting in a fucking room talking to each other for 30 minutes with no scene changes, no perspective changes, no, you know, like nothing happening plot-wise other than talking is what it sounds like. It sounds like you're just having a conversation in a room, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So like, I mean, I can't imagine how even people who are fans of the series, like, wouldn't you rather just watch the anime? Like, come on, like this seems less interesting than the source material by a mile.
Well, Ben Lee,
just based on the format and the delivery and stuff. So
Bentley, the Spartan Game Cat in the chat says, I was a fan of the series back in the day. I'm still not buying either of these. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, I needed to make the most of my money spent. I'm gonna have a review out for both of these games out either later tonight, first thing tomorrow morning. I mean, hopefully it'll help somebody make a decision. So Mick Cole says it sucks balls.
Balls.
We don't need my review anymore. Mick Cole has it down in 3 words. I like it. All right. What's next? We have got a sale to talk about, don't we?
Are we already to the sale now?
There are some games on sale right now. So as you guys know, you should know the drill. We're going to do a little thing called PSVR's Got Talent, where us three go through these games, tell you whether or not we recommend them, give them a big thumbs up, thumbs down, and you kind of help you guys decide if there's something that you must pick up on the sale. And I can tell you right now, spoiler alert, there are some games that you must pick up on this sale.
Interesting spoiler.
You must.
So let's kick things off with Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown Deluxe Edition for $28.04.
28?
$28 for
this
the
is deluxe
edition.
Oh, you don't need the deluxe edition. You just need the standard edition because there's nothing in the deluxe that has VR support. So just get the standard one when it's on sale for a nice price, like we saw recently.
Even $20.
It was like 20 or below. I think, for the
you can find a physical copy of Ace Combat 7 for $20 or something.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to play the flat screen version, that's the only exception here because this game usually goes for $85. So $28 on sale is a huge discount. If you're going to play the flat version, you want all the extra content, then absolutely. But otherwise, no, I'd say wait for a better sale on the base game.
Yep. So no for me for now. I love Ace Combat, but for this one, get you said, get the regular.
Yeah, no reason for the deluxe.
Don't get the deluxe
unless you want to play the flat game. In that case, whatever.
Yep.
But for the VR content, no.
Chess Ultra. Oh, by the way, big shout out to Duran Fan VR, the Game Cat, for posting all of this list of things, always making this easy for us. Thank you, Duran. You are the man.
Duran. The man.
Chess Ultra for $6.49 or with PSPlus $5.84.
It's one of the blurriest games ever, and I was just talking about something that doesn't elevate the experience of whatever it's replicating. This is not better than playing chess in any other way. Like, really, I don't think so.
I'm gonna give this a thumbs down.
Yeah, thumbs down.
Too blurry, man. Sometimes you can't tell which piece is which, that ruins the game. Like, how simple should this be? The environments look great, but the whole game's just blurry. No.
Crisis Brigade for $4.49.
That's a big yes. You must pick it up. It's very fun.
For under $5, DualShock Move and aim support, multiplayer, really fun and challenging shooter. If you like Time Crisis style arcade games, or like arcade style shooters, I should say, this is a very close one to that. $4.49. I'm gonna have to give this a thumbs up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, that's cheaper than the launch price when it only had one level. So 100%. Yeah.
3 thumbs up. Crisis Brigade 2 is also on sale for $11.99. If you have PlayStation Plus, it is only $9.99. This is, of course, a better looking graphical. Let's say you don't like the simple graphics looking one. Mm-hmm. This is a much more polished looking game. They've done some really awesome updates with it. I keep going back to, I used to love this game with the aim controller. Now I love it with the moves, with the shield and the gun. It is such a fun experience, fun game. I'm going to have to give Crisis Brigade 2 a big thumbs up from me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and still multiplayer is on the way. So we don't have it yet.
Right.
But know that when you get this, you are getting the promise of future multiplayer, which they did pull off relatively well in Crisis Brigade 1. I hope they make some improvements to the spawn points and stuff like that. But otherwise, I think this should be pretty good. And it is a notable improvement. There's like upgrade system. You can buy extra lives now and stuff. So I think in most ways, it's definitely, worth $10 for sure. If you don't have it yet, just be ready to crawl around on your damn floor. Unless you use the shield that they introduced. Yeah,
I see Secrets of and Donatello, the Game Cat, also giving thumbs up. Thank you guys. Feel free to give these games your own. Let us know what we want to see. What you want to say too. Back us up or go against us. Don't be afraid to disagree. Patrick M says, which game gets the golden buzzer? I will tell you, there is a game in this list that will get my golden buzzer, Patrick. But
what's the golden buzzer? Bryan, do you know?
I don't know.
We're shaking our heads. We're like,
we'll get there. Durasane for $11.99.
If it's your type of game, I think, yeah. I mean, it's a full-on narrative experience. It's pretty cool if you are into this atmospheric sort of gothic, almost like slow burn mystery thing.
Very slow burn.
It's a slow burn, and if you're looking for, Bloodborne, because it's from the same people who made the Dark Souls games. No, if you're looking for Bloodborne, it's nothing like that.
Yes,
but if you love all the lore in From Software games, you might be into this because it kind of goes back to their roots as like an adventure game company. They started out doing like a bunch of point and click games and stuff. So I think this is in keeping with their, history, but it's a niche thing. But it's good. There's people who love it out there. Nick loves it, right?
This game gets better the more you play it. I feel like at first, even I was like, I'm a point and click adventure fan, and at first I was like, "Ooh, this is so slow." Like, and everything about it, like from like the dream-like, visuals to the kind of like almost. Even the voiceovers have like this dreamlike quality to them, where it's like, "Is this happening? Yeah. Is this real? Is this real life?" And the further you get into the game, it's like it gets darker and darker. And I was like, "Oh, finally! Okay, this is fantastic!" And like it really, Decepticon says the end of it gets interesting.
Everybody's saying the end. Of the game.
I haven't made it to the end of it. This game is too slow for me. It's beautiful. I'll give you that. It is beautiful. Yeah, it's a nice looking graphically game. Looks amazing. But I want Bloodborne, man. I know that's too much to ask, so I will patiently wait. Teleport, click turning only. Puzzles, very slow. This is an anti-me game. What do you guys give this? I'm gonna have to give this a no.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. Yeah, I said, if it's your sort of thing. Like if you know what you're getting, yeah, totally.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. It is just not for me.
Secret Stuff says slow, but still mesmerizing. Yeah, I agree, 100%.
So interesting, guys. Dreams got a permanent price drop of $20. Dreams is now available for $19.99.
I missed that.
That's fucking insane. That is insane. Yeah. You can make games in it. You can play games in it. It's got VR support. It's got PS5 support. What the hell? I mean, $20. This is if you don't own Dreams. Come on.
So let me tell you guys something real quick. The golden buzzer is if there is one game that you have to get from this sale that, in your opinion, you give it the golden buzzer. That's what happens here.
I would say
I thought it was your golden buzzer. I didn't know we also got a golden buzzer.
We all get one golden buzzer.
Can I give it a golden
buzzer? Is located between the in the area called the perineum. Sorry.
All right. So, but Dreams. Page. Look, everybody knows I'm a huge fan of Dreams. You should anyways, and the games are getting better and better. If you're looking for a lot of racing games, there's already a lot of great user created racing games in VR. There's also just a lot of games in particular and in general. This is like, again, I feel like Dreams is a revolutionary game and it's only going to get better over time. This is an easy thumbs up for me.
Everybody knows that AJ likes Dreams.
Are you doing a Leonard Cohen cover?
I am.
We haven't done Leonard Cohen before.
Have we not?
That's good.
I love
no,
Leonard
I don't
Cohen.
think so. Me too, man. I saw him when he was like 75 years old, and he was the most sprightly motherfucker. He was dancing around on stage with his little top hat. So charming. It is incredible.
Hawk 107 gives Dreams 2 thumbs down. I'm curious. Feel free to let me know. Again, You are allowed to disagree. You are allowed to have your opinion. I am genuinely curious to see why you disagree, why you don't like it, why you don't disagree.
My bet is the same reason that Hunter says he says Dreams is blurry. Dreams is blurry on the OG, and if on the Pro it's way less blurry. Sirens on my end, and on the PlayStation 5 it's sharp as fuck. So that is definitely if you don't have PlayStation 5 yet, or you're still on the OG PS4, I mean, Pro definitely good middle of the road material there. I think it's a must-have for Pro users and PS5 users. That was definitely a thumbs up.
True, that is a good call. Good save there. If you have an OG, you can pass on this, but you're going to need, if you have a Pro or PS5, absolutely. So is that 3 thumbs up from us?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 thumbs
Way
up for Dreams.
Way up.
Hatsune Miku VR for $14.99.
No, it's not good. I love Hatsune Miku. I actually just reinstalled Future Tone. I think that's what it is. On my PS4 or PS5.
Is this just
actually?
Is it? I'm sorry. Is this one just Hatsune Miku VR, or is this which one is this?
It's not the one where you shake the. It's not the one where you shake the.
This is the one with the rings that just like come at you randomly.
Yeah, it's not the concert one. It's the actual rhythm game one, which is somehow just as bad and totally not worth recommending.
So bad.
Like I said, I love this franchise. I love rhythm games in VR.
Yep.
This one is just a straight pass. Like you can't. They just fucked it up somehow. It's not good.
So
it's a thumbs down.
Yeah.
Thumbs down. 3 thumbs down. Agreed. I think John Riggs was actually giving some copies of this game away on Twitter. So if you're interested, go hit up John
good.
Riggs.
Yeah, free is better than nothing.
If I owned mine physically, I would give mine away too.
We have next Immortal Legacy, the Jade Cipher for $9.99.
You know what I miss more than anything else in the world? I miss
arguing about Immortal Legacy and having Kevgret in here and stuff.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I think we ran him off.
We literally ran Kevgret off with with my love of Immortal Legacy, and so I miss having him be here in the chat and get mad about it.
You drove him into the arms of VR 365. He was on their show.
Oh God, I mean I didn't mean to say that out loud. I mean I love everybody. That's what I meant to say.
Even Anthony from VR 365.
Is that his name? I didn't even fucking know. See, this is how little I watch YouTube. So Immortal Legacy is what, $10 on sale from $20?
Yes.
Yeah. Guys, this is, again, there's so many small issues with this game, from like your little T-Rex arms to like to having to learn a new kind of locomotion system, to a weird inventory system, but it's all stuff that you learn and get used to in the first like 20-30 minutes, I think. And man, it's again the closest we have to Uncharted. And I think it's a beautiful game. I love this game. Underdeveloped, but definitely a $10. I mean, $10, man. It's so good.
I've beaten this game 4 times. I've got the platinum trophy.
Wow. Me too.
Yeah, I love this
4
game.
in platinum.
Yeah, and it like you said, it's a nice mix between Uncharted and also has like some Resident Evil vibes. So if you want something that's kind of like a Uncharted / horror game. The second half is like very like a lot more scary than the first half. I'm down with this game. So what do you guys say? I say yes.
So I'm going to be surprising here because I've always been the holdout with Immortal Legacy, and I'm going to say for $10, fuck it. They added the control types. It's got cookie pie. There's some cool parts. I don't know. It's $10.
Cookie
I'll
pie.
give it a thumbs up. I never would have given it a thumbs up before, but $10 is good.
I have to say,
I love Justin. What?
Well, I go ahead. Just incredible. God damn it.
Just Incredible always says Immortal Legacy.
I think he just wants to put the word ass. He wants to put the word ass in Immortal Legacy. That's why he's doing it.
Legacy sounds like some kind of yogurt
I
drink.
think it's like isn't that like a racing guy or like a tennis dude or something?
I have no, that's
I'm gonna have
Andre, that's Agassi.
Agassi.
Andre
That's right.
Agassi.
It sounds like it's an F1 car or something, or like a guy who drives an F1
Legacy.
So Nick Mueller, the Game Cat, has 4 thumbs down. 4 thumbs down.
Yeah.
Are you a cat and you're using all 4 of your paws? How many thumbs do
Yeah.
you have? Is the question. 4, not just 2. 4.
Nick doesn't. Disclaimer: Nick doesn't like Uncharted, so that's a big part of that.
Oh wow, you don't like Uncharted? Do you like ice cream sandwiches or like what do you like? Oh, Legacy,
sorry,
Emerald Legacy. He's a chef. That's
And now he's saying immoral Legacy.
Immoral Legacy.
Donatello says, "I leg ass." I don't know what that means. But you keep doing you, man.
I don't know why I love this conversation so much. Nick said he borrowed Amy's thumbs. It's like he's speaking for the whole family. I love it.
So that actually gets 3 thumbs up from us.
Surprisingly enough. Yeah.
Remember, at any time you guys have the golden buzzer, you can use it once.
I already would have used mine on Dreams, I think.
Oh, so Dave used his golden buzzer on Dreams. So
well, unless I hear something better, I'll wait.
You don't know. You have the list. You can see what's coming.
No, I'll wait. I'm not reading the list.
Okay.
I want you to tell me.
All right. So next, we have Intruders Hide and Seek. Wow, I wasn't expecting this. Is that right? Intruders Hide and Seek for $199.
Wow, that's cheap.
Yeah.
That's
wow.
dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a
I
20.
mean,
It's a $20 game usually. It is short. I'll give you that. It's like 3 hours. But man, I love what they did with this. There are issues. The character models are like scary bad. But man, again, this is
and the intro is laughable. Like the intro, all the dialogue and the voice acting is really silly.
Yeah,
really, really silly. I was laughing my head off when I played it.
It's a mess. It's a mess until you actually get control of your character, and then you're like, oh, okay, now I get this. And yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest stealth I've ever seen in VR, but it gets the job done. And man, it's definitely tense. And again, the later part of this game is super disturbing. So
this is such a great sale that it almost mirrors the amount of money that I initially put into GameStop versus the amount of money that I currently have in my investment account. That's like a full 90% drop is what I'm saying. It's went from fucking, oh God. I don't want to talk about it. That's my shouldn't we. Don't invest in anything. God,
unfortunately, I have no comment on this one. I'm going to have to go middle of the road here because I actually own this game and I still have yet to play it.
What?
I haven't found the motivation to play it.
It's $2.
I own it. I own it already.
Money too, Brian. You could
take
that $2
I'm not gonna,
time,
but you
spend it on some other.
So you're not going to try. But come on, we've known each other a long time. You're saying you don't trust me?
If Good Dog Bad Dog was $2, I would say I don't know if I hadn't played it.
Dude. Okay, that's true. That's very true. But yes,
$2 is hard to argue with. But yeah, I'm not going to tell somebody to buy something if I haven't played it. Why would I do that?
Because you trust every word that comes out of my mouth implicitly.
So middle of the road for me. Mine's neutral only because I haven't played it.
I'll vote for you.
Dave,
it's $2, so I guess I have to say yes. I don't love it, but it's $2. If you're interested, it's the best price you'll probably ever see on this
everyone in the chat. Yep, they're all going to make you play it on the Saturday Night live stream.
Good. Yeah, good. I can't wait.
Good. I can't wait either.
All right. Jupiter and Mars for $5.99.
If you like boring games,
it is boring. It is boring. It's slow paced, like Durasane, where it's like so slow. I will say it is kind of like relaxing to like if you don't rush through it. Like if you actually like want to just kind of chill in the water as a dolphin, it's kind of cool. But I don't know. It does get pretty boring though.
I mean, it gets boring by the second level. At the first, I like collectathons, and so that's why this originally I was like, ooh, collectathons. It was like every single thing that I ran into was like you found 1 out of 20. I was like, fuck yeah, I love collectathons. And by the second level, I was like, I'm done collecting. I don't want to explore. I get lost every 5 seconds, and no, coming from me, that's not a huge surprise. But like, there's no good map system. There's no good crazy taxi arrow above your head being like, go this direction for the exit. And so it's a lot of just swimming aimlessly. And man, I was so done with the collecting by the second level because I was just like, I don't even know where the fuck I am. It's like, I would much rather find the exit than to swim around aimlessly looking for shit.
You put like a great idea in my head, which is this kind of game, but it's Crazy Taxi, where like you're totally saving the environment. It's all about environmentalism. But you as a dolphin got to go as fast as you fucking can to clean up this oil spill. And there's a guy on your back who's like, yo, all my turtle brothers over there are getting killed by this oil spill. And it's like 30 seconds. Just drop them off. It was not exciting in any way, is what I'm saying. Like some excitement would be good in that game. Something fun.
There were things about this game I liked, but I don't know. It's just the pacing killed me. But there were plenty of times in this game where I was like, this is very relaxing. This is fun. I get to swim around sea turtles and like some of the environments were actually kind of cool and atmospheric. And I like the idea of being a dolphin going around freeing crabs and turtles from garbage.
I like the idea of it too.
Like the concept of it,
but
not a fun game to play.
Just not very fun.
I think Donatello, the scientist game cat, says everything that I want to say in 4 words. He said, "Dolphins can suck it."
Whoa! Hey, dolphins are cool, man. They're with me. They're with me, okay?
Rapists. They're also rapists, but I assume some of them are good people.
What do you guys say? I'm going to say no this time.
Weird moment of silence after that. I'm saying no.
That's a clear reference to the fact that
I'm
dolphins.
I'm going to say no, but you can do much worse than this. You can do much worse than this. One Piece Grand Cruise for $4.99. we just talked about these crap game experience things. This is a huge no for me. This is one of the worst things I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna waste my time bringing up the trailer.
No.
Skip it.
No.
Skip it.
This
Skip
is
it.
one of the worst things ever. Resident Evil 7 for $9.99.
Do you have to ask us that?
It's one of the top
buzzer.
rated.
That's the golden buzzer.
Is that your golden? All right,
That's
Bryan has hit the golden buzzer, or did Dave? Dave has hit the golden buzzer for Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 is a must-have. It's one of the best PSVR games. You absolutely need it. I couldn't agree more, Dave.
I'm looking through the end of the list here and seeing what's coming up. And although I definitely have a lot more thumbs up coming, I mean, $10, man. $10 for as far as I'm concerned, a AAA like must-have, in my opinion, best game on PlayStation VR. Absolutely, this is my golden buzzer. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Bring on the golden
Two
shower.
golden buzzers. Two golden buzzers for Resident Evil 7. Next, that's a huge thumbs up. That is like the ultimate. That is basically Dave and Bryan saying, of all the games on this list, if you don't have Resident Evil 7, you need Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, I say that even when it's not on sale, though. So
now I still have my golden buzzer, guys.
But you already used it on Dreams.
No, I didn't. I thought you did.
I thought you did.
No, I just gave it a thumbs up.
see, none of us listen to each other. I love it.
You introduced the entire concept of the golden buzzer while we were talking about Dreams and explained it right there.
Yeah.
And so I thought that meant you were using it there.
No,
okay.
But I'm going to be using it now on Sirento VR for $14.05. In my opinion, if there is one game you need from this sale right now, it is Sirento VR. If you want to do action, shooting, sword fighting, backflips, slow motion, all this cool stuff fighting cyberpunk ninjas, this game, my recommended price for Sirento VR is usually $20. This is $5 less than my recommended price. This is an absolute steal. Hitting the golden buzzer. You guys have no say. It is an automatic thumbs up. It is going straight to the top.
Wait. I wasn't aware that golden buzzers circumvent our voting.
Yes.
Oh, then by all means, let's go to the next one.
Sirento VR. Well, any guys, just real quick for humor me here. What do you say about Sirento VR for $14.05, guys?
Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what we say. No. We already told
Say
we could.
something nice about Sirento.
We were told we can suck it.
Matter.
Yep. I will say that, I mean, it's got one of the coolest locomotion systems I've ever played in a VR game. You know, and when you jump and then do a flip and then double jump and quadruple jump and do a wall run and land and do a slide, and it's like that whole time you're like shooting at people and slicing with it. I mean, it is insane. Like this is a developer that said, man, you know, people in VR get motion sick sometimes. And then another guy on the team said, fuck them. And you're like, all right. Like, that's how that conversation went, I feel, when they were developing this game. They were like, let's ignore all the people who are doing teleportation or wave shooters where you don't move from one set location. They were like, let's give people a complete freedom. Let's let you do Devil May Cry moves in VR and see what happens. And they were, like, very successful at it. Yeah.
I've actually playing Devil May Cry on the PS5, and I wish I was as mobile as I am in Sirento. I can only do one cool flip. Like, this guy's fucking hopping off walls, running all over the place. Like, it's some of the most satisfying locomotion. Maybe the most satisfying. It's up there for sure.
Definitely like top 3, top 5.
If you got the guts for it, if you got the VR legs or whatever, like, just take off all the comfort settings, do backflips, do side flips, run off walls, slide. It's so much fun.
Fat Boy Vernon says, "Oh my God, it looks amazing." Yes. This is why we do this, man. You do not want to miss out on Sirento at $15. You know, I already gave it the gold buzzer, but that's 3 thumbs up from us anyways.
It's also got multiplayer, guys. You can play with one of your friends. You can do 2 players online. And there's like a whole Diablo-style unlock system where you get different rarities of items that give your weapons all kinds of different abilities that you wouldn't expect in a game that seems kind of a straightforward combat sim. You've got all kinds of cool stuff you can infuse your weapons with. So, yeah, this is so fun.
Nick the Game Cat House says, if Sirento is so good, then why can't it make the top 25 list?
That's a good-ass question. Next time.
It has. It has
It has
before.
definitely, yeah.
It's getting a little competitive.
That is the problem. It's the fact is that every time we put out a top 25 list, somebody goes, "Where's Sirento? Where's Jobson? Where's this? Where's that?" And it's like the list that we
Where's
get.
Thumper?
Yeah. Oh my god. And like all of these games are incredible. That's why I feel like
Sprint Vector.
the second they announce a PlayStation VR 2 and they give us a release date, we need to be like the week before that release date, we need to do like a top 50 list and
Yeah.
really
Well,
give a
someday-
lot of these games credit they deserve.
Someday we ought to, not to make more work for ourselves, but these games like Sirento that kind of rarely go on sale and still have a high base price of like what, $40 or something.
It's too
Like,
expensive for the full
So-
price. Yeah.
we ought to have a list that's like a top 10 games that you should totally get if they're on sale, but like they would easily be in the top 25 if they weren't still at that high
Yeah.
default price. Like if Sirento wasn't $40 most of the time, I would say, yeah, you guys got to have it. If it was always $16, that would be in my top 15. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Absolutely. The only thing that holds me back is the $37 price tag. They shouldn't have charged that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying. I think as prices shift around, just certain games are a must get on a sale, but totally a wait for a sale.
Yeah.
Justin Time says there's a big Sirento update coming for PlayStation. I think they are supposed to be releasing some additional content
Yes.
at some point. They're also in the future. They're already working. Mixed Realms is actually working on a sequel for it too, and they said when it comes to Sirento, we made the mistake of trying to put in a story when we didn't really have the skills or the talent to do so. And they said, so the sequel, they're just doubling down on the combat, the enemy, the environments, the weapons, all of that stuff. So that's going to be amazing in the future, guys.
That's the other thing about it is, the thing we didn't talk about some of its downfalls when we were saying, yes, you should definitely buy it at $15. The graphics are very, very somewhat primitive. They look very PS2 like, and the
resolution's fine, but the textures and geometry are kind of blocky.
Yeah, and in a lot of the arenas are on the small side, and the campaign is. They didn't know what they were doing, and you could tell. So it's not without its flaws. And for a $40 price tag, I want this thing to have great visual fidelity. I want it to have a nice, smooth, interesting, intriguing campaign. And a lot of these things are kind of missing. But again, it does what it does really, really well. And so I'm looking forward to see what they do with the sequel.
Just the core motion and combat and everything is so solid that. A lot of people don't even, especially in VR, you don't need a story. Like, I don't need a story for Beat Saber. Don't try and give me a backstory for that. Why am I slicing these blocks? Really don't care. So Sirento, I think doubling down on that is a good idea because mechanically it's so solid.
Choo Choo Baka says they aren't poor, though. I think it looks way better than Arizona Sunshine. It's like, well, yeah, at least you set your bar really low for that comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we've given enough love to this.
Also, Todd was asking how you do backflips. Not only do you put your hands up in the air, but there's actually an option that you have to switch on when you play the game for the first time that says allow backflips because they don't want people to get motion sick. Like if you accidentally do a backflip and you go, oh my god, so you do have to enable backflips in the options menu. So keep that in mind.
Correct.
You can also do side flips as well, towards a wall or off of the wall.
Back flips, forward flips.
But
amazing
when you first install that game, I will say the config menu, which is awesome because it has so many different little things you can tweak. It's really overwhelming. There's so many options like that you have to go in and fuck with to get the best experience. Like, it's not just, you're not going to boot it up and have like the full on cool ass ninja time. You got to fuck with that stuff, but it's still worth it. Totally worth it.
All right. So next we have Stifled
is next
for $4.99.
I didn't play it, but I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. Quick no for this.
Wait. Did you play it?
No.
Wait.
I own it though.
Hold on a second. So you're not willing to vote on Intruders?
Okay, no, I did play this. I did play. I lost interest like really fast.
Okay, I played it all the way through. I beat the game. I don't have a trailer apparently at the ready, so it's not going to come up. But Stifled, I think, does some very interesting things, and I wouldn't pay full price for it. It is very much like the whole game. Most of the game is like wireframe because it's all about echolocation and stuff. So you're walking around. You're supposed to. Yes, but except with this, you don't have a cane. You're picking up rocks and throwing it, and it ripples out, and then you can kind of see the environment. There are some really good moments in this game, and I think it's really creatively well done, even if it's not technically well done at certain points. And for $5, I think it's worth checking out if you like horror. Not super scary, but it has its moments. And so for $5, I say, yeah, check it out.
Yeah. So moving on, we've got Thumper for $3.99.
Holy
Everybody
crap.
should have this game. Yeah, everybody should have this game already. If you don't, Thumper gets a huge thumbs up from me. It is one of the best rhythm games I've ever played in my life.
Thumper for $3.99 is 3 golden buzzers. Yes,
That's
like
true.
you must have this.
Yeah.
If you like rhythm games, it's one of the most unique rhythm games I've ever played. They call it rhythm violence is the genre, and if you haven't played it, you will understand what that means as soon as you start playing it. It's got this really visceral feel that it's like the most metal rhythm game also that I've ever played. Super crazy visuals, and it's just like it feels so good. It runs really well. Isn't it 120? Maybe that's flat.
Yeah, I don't want to say, but it is. It does feel super sharp and super smooth.
So crisp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really simple, but it's so well done.
Yeah.
You guys must play this, and it's hard. It's fucking.
It gets really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's got boss
I did
fights.
the game. You're just like,
I played this during Saturday night stream, I think not too long ago, and it was just like,
if you're not used to it, like it's brutal. It's fucking brutal to come
yeah,
back.
it was
to
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah. So yeah, thumbs up
Nice.
all around. Obviously, good stuff.
Patrick M says Sirento is about the same sale price in the EU. Thanks for the heads up. Gonna play tomorrow. No problem, man. Thank
Enjoy,
you.
man.
Yeah, enjoy that locomotion system.
And you guys get on the Discord if you have new copies of Sirento that you want to play with a friend. Like I said, there is co-op, 2-player co-op. So hop on our Discord and post something. See if anybody wants to play with you. I'm sure there'll be somebody out there. You got to play.
Next we have Trainer VR for $3.99.
So if they had introduced the mode where you could go first person like they said they were going to do. Now, Sumo Lab, I'll give them credit for Crisis Brigade 1 and 2 all day. But this particular game, if they just put in a goddamn first person mode on the train, I think everybody would be into it. Build your own, train world. You ride through it. You see your little creation. And there would be somebody who was interested in that. As it stands, it's really not for anybody, I don't think. Speaking
of which, thinking about this game, there is a new train game that came out in Japan. It's going to cost me about $80.
Don't buy it. No, don't buy it. The VR content is really minimal. It's like one 15-minute mission or something. It's not worth the money. I looked into this already.
Oh, the Go one?
Barely any VR content at all.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like a little side mode. It's less content than Tomb Raider.
Oh, that is so disappointing. I was so excited to play this.
No, it's not nearly the whole game.
That sucks.
Do one mission.
Well, I'm going to take my anger out on Trainer VR. It's like, no.
Yeah. I liked what I played of this. But there's nothing to do. Like there's no objective mode. There's no anything. It's literally just like sitting and being like, I'm just gonna do this and put things together. Yeah, it feels like it's the beginning of something, but they haven't actually followed through and made a full game out of it. So I
think they meant to go back to it and do more, but Crisis Brigade became way more popular, way more viable as a product. And they were just like, why would we spend our time on this train game, when people are loving Crisis Brigade?
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're a super small team. I don't even blame them for it, to be honest. It's gonna be a thumbs down, but God, I do hope they go back to it someday, to be honest.
All right. Next we have Track Lab for $7.99. This was a bad puzzle game and a bad rhythm generator. I was really excited when this was coming out because I thought it was going to be like MTV music generator in VR. This game's terrible. It is not fun. And the music that you can create is really bad. The puzzles are really bad. I did not like this game one bit.
Yeah, there's one person who tried to convince me it was good, and I really don't agree with them. I just don't know who this is for. Once again, it's not a great music creation tool because it's kind of unwieldy and doesn't make sense as far as music creation goes. Right. You can't do anything great with it, really. I haven't seen anybody's fantastic song that came out of Track Lab. And then the puzzle game part of it is just pointless and weird and doesn't feel fun. I don't know. Yeah, it's just it kind of misses on everything. So yeah, no go.
Yeah, I don't need to say anything else. You guys covered it. I tried my hardest to get into this and I couldn't. Was not interested whatsoever. I found it to be convoluted and not fun. So yeah, thumbs down.
Thumbs out. 3 thumbs down.
I
Tumble.
loved MTV Music Maker.
I loved MTV
I
Music Maker.
cannot.
You can honestly, Dreams. You can make better music in Dreams, and you can make like so much better stuff in go get Dreams instead if you want a music maker. Tumble VR for $4.99. Now I will say, I've waited forever to buy this game. Maybe it was a little too late. I started playing it and I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. It's like Jenga and puzzles, I guess. But I got bored after like 10, 15 minutes, and I did not like this game. No desire to go back to it.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of people tell me Tumble VR that they enjoyed it. This was really early in the console life cycle, but still there are people out there. Sean B says, don't hate on Tumble VR. It's fun.
Not hating on it.
It's really not a poorly designed game. It's just, I feel like there are more interesting puzzle games out there than stacking stuff, but it's kind of fun. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You stack stuff on top of each other, make sure it doesn't wobble over. Typical reverse Jenga problem. But for this price, I would say, yeah, sure, go ahead if this is your thing.
Yeah,
Might as well.
I obviously had way more fun with this game than maybe either of you. But
oh yeah,
when when Des and I reviewed this for Why We Love, I put many hours into it, and I had a whole lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know. I like the concept and I had fun. And for $5, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. But you can tell by the trailers if it's for you or not.
Yeah.
There's also a demo too. Can we vote? I'm voting no.
It's going to be like middle towards up.
Not a bad game. No disrespect here, but not great either. Wipeout Omega Collection for $12.99.
Easy answer. That's a thumbs up. I mean, 3 full complete games and one of the best, all in one. One of the best racing games, one of the prettiest games on PlayStation VR. I think, almost no problems with this at all.
I'm still going to give this a thumbs up, too, because it's Wipeout Omega Collection in VR. One of the most stunning looking games. I really think Hitman, Red Matter, and Wipeout are, like, in my opinion, 3 of the best looking games on PSVR. The only reason I'm going to give this a thumbs up still, but I'm not happy about it, is because this game is always on sale for like $7-8. And I think
that's
it's
true.
100. That's the only. I'm still giving it a thumbs up. That's how much I like this game and how much I believe in it. And if you haven't picked it up, you absolutely need it. But this game does go on sale for like $7 all the time. So you can hold off this sale if you want.
Yeah. That's an excellent point, but I'm still giving it a thumbs up because it's a great game and it's on sale. But yeah, if you can hold out, then wait for the next sale, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Wolfenstein Cyberpilot for $7.99.
This
game sucks.
It's not a great game. It's not a great game. I mean, for $7.99, I don't know if you love Wolfenstein, which I love Wolfenstein, and this didn't give me that fun Wolfenstein feeling that I crave. It feels so weirdly detached because I feel like Wolfenstein, the fun of it is like, hey, there's a Nazi right there. I'm gonna fucking shoot that person. And in this one, you're like in a chamber controlling a mech somewhere else that is from a distance blowtorching people and stuff. And it's like, it just doesn't feel like Wolfenstein, really. And I hate that they went with that mechanic where it's like you're in a theater looking out at what's happening in the world instead of being in the mech yourself, like conceptually I get it, but gameplay wise, and it just didn't really come together the way it could have.
Fuck the
it could have
mech,
been a
man.
decent game, but
Fuck the mech. Let me have an aim support. Let me run around these streets and actually get to shoot things.
Might be a good idea.
Don't get me wrong. Mech games are great, but if you're gonna make a Wolfenstein game in VR, the first one you're gonna make is in mechs. Like this, there was a stealthy segment in in the drone levels that I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, but that would have been a nice alternative to the aim sections where you run around shooting dudes in first person stuff. I don't know, this. I hated this game the first time I played it, and every time I played it since then, I've liked it more. So,
Yeah.
so I don't know, man. I'm like middle of the road on this.
This game is super underwhelming. It looks good, but the gameplay isn't great, and the story isn't good, and basically everything about it is pretty bad except for the graphics. Big no for me. Big waste of time. I wouldn't play this if it was free. I wouldn't recommend it if it was free.
Wow. I actually like, so again, one of the things I hated about this game at first was all the in between the action stuff where you're sitting in this chair and you're like, pulling levers and you're like using crowbars to open things up and pull chips out and replace it. I was like, oh, it's like baby's first VR game, and then again, the more I played that, the more I replayed this game like 3 times now. And the second and third time I grew to really like those. And I don't know what got into me where I was like, this is interesting and kind of fun and stupid, but like, I don't know. Again, it's your mileage will vary. It's hard to recommend, but it's also at the same time like I did have some fun eventually.
I just want to say welcome to Tornado, who's entered the chat.
Yo, Tornado.
How's it going, Tornado? Oh, she's
guys, last but not least, Zone of the Enders, the second runner Mars for $7.49.
I'm gonna say yes. If you like this game and you know what it is, or you like these old classic Konami things, it's pretty intense in VR because you move so quickly and you're always up in guys' faces. So the combat is very like, it can be really disorienting, I think. But it's still cool. I mean, it's the full game, remastered, and I enjoy these style of games. Mech games are always fun, unless they're obviously Wolfenstein. But
if you want to experience an 2000s Kojima mech fighting game, button masher, then yes, I agree with Dave. I haven't finished this game, but I've played it for a couple hours, and overall, I like this game. I do. I'm gonna give it a yes.
I love this game on the PS2, and I'm concerned that people who didn't play it,
I didn't play it.
I know, but I'm concerned that actual people who didn't play it. You're interesting, AJ. I feel like maybe we've talked about.
Oh, that's the nicest thing you've ever said about it.
I mean, it's pretty honest. I think you are more forgiving than most, or you're willing to take time to learn antiquated or outdated mechanics more than most. And I think that this game.
Well, I did grow up with those mechanics, so.
Yeah, again, but you didn't grow up. You didn't play this game, and I think a lot of people who didn't play this game when they were younger aren't going to enjoy the remake. I personally played it and loved it on PS2, and it was the nostalgia, and it was like replaying it in VR from the first person perspective. That's what I really liked about it. But I don't think I would have liked it if I hadn't played the original and had those nostalgia vibes.
I don't think the majority of people are going to like this game.
I agree with you. I don't think a majority of the people will like this game, but from a personal standpoint, as someone who did play the original, I've got to give it a thumbs up. I thought it was a very cool remake. So
that's 3 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Go Zone of the Enders. Guys.
Hey. Tornado, can you make me some coffee? One of these days, I'm going to teach her to make coffee, man, and everything's going to be great. So somebody in the chat asked a question, and I'm sorry that it went by and I wasn't able to catch your name. It's Demoshi Vitalize
from Cyprus.
Perfect.
Demoshi, yeah.
Yeah. It says, guys, another question. I don't play VR games other than. No other VR games are Hitman 1 and 2 included with Hitman 3 VR. The answer is no. You're going to have to buy Hitman 1 and 2 separately. And then the only way to play them in VR is by importing them into Hitman 3. So a question we've gotten very often and answered very often. And so if you are interested in playing Hitman 1 and 2 in VR, which, by the way, you definitely should. You definitely should play those games in VR. They are fantastic games.
Yes.
Almost on par, or maybe even better from what I played so far than Hitman 3 itself. Definitely pick up Hitman 1 and 2 if you're buying Hitman 3 because, Jesus, what an amazing trilogy of VR games.
Yeah, but just keep in mind that there's a lot to do in Hitman 3. And if you're of the mindset that, hey, this has been on sale for a really good price before recently, Hitman 1 and 2 were on sale for great, like $8 and $12 respectively, something like that. Really, really good prices. It will happen again at some point. So there's plenty of time to wait with Hitman 3 before you decide to take the plunge and buy 2 other expensive games that aren't on sale.
It's a loaded question for me because it was one part, what are the best looking ones, and then what are like the most fun. And I think the easy answer for that is Astrobot.
Yeah, of course.
And when it comes to graphics and fun, but graphics showcase, I'd definitely say like Red Matter and Hitman 3. Gameplay, I'd say Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, Resident Evil 7. So there's lots of options, at least.
100%. 100% agree.
Fatboy Vernon says, I have a confession. Ooh. I love Jet Moto. Jet Moto as a launch title for PSVR 2. I wholeheartedly agree. Yep. I endorse Fatboy Vernon on this, Brian.
I can guarantee you that the studio that made that is firmly out of business and has been for like decades.
That wasn't that Single Track who made Twisted Metal?
Single Track.
So
yes, they worked on they worked on Twisted Metal. They worked on both. Yeah.
So the greatest thing about Jet Moto was the grappling hook system, where the only way to take tight turns was to shoot this laser beam out that connects to the grappling.
I liked that.
Yeah,
that was cool. That was fun.
I'm saying it was the best part of Jet Moto in my book. It was once you got that down, so you're racing and
cool.
then you're boom spinning around the corners at lightning speed. And I really think that in VR that could be so effective. It's you're racing with one hand and then with your other hand you're shooting out the laser to connect to the grappling hook and pulling or whatever to kind of help you spin around. I think I absolutely
I used to spend lots of time in Jet Moto.
Yeah.
There'd be a level with a big cliff and some water, and then there'd be a cliff. I would angle myself to go up the cliff, just drive directly vertical, and then fly up in the air, do a bunch of backflips, get a bunch of points, all this stuff. Yeah, man. And I endorse Jet Moto for VR, Armored Core for VR, Jumping Flash for VR. These are things I want to make in dreams one day. These are on my dreams bucket list. Bushido Blade in VR. Anybody?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would go for Hydro Thunder. I would fucking love Hydro Thunder in VR. Do you guys remember Hydro Thunder?
Oh yeah,
I do.
The Midway game.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Bouncing on those waves, man. EA Hydro was on the Dreamcast, actually. That was a big hit at my Dreamcast arcades that I used to do. People loved that one. Until some drunk guy snapped my steering wheel in half and then left without saying anything. And then we didn't have any more Hydro Thunder there.
Yeah. All right, you guys. I think it's about time to wrap up.
It is.
Is it that time?
That's about time.
What review?
Oh, I was actually going to throw in there too. There is I wanted to throw in during the Jet Moto grappling discussion, right? There is a game that these game cats who have quests and PC stuff have been trying to get me to play called Grapple Tournament, Grapple Arena, Grapple Tournament, I think, something like that. And it sounds like it's like Unreal Tournament, but with the Jet Moto grappling around thing. Like you swing around stuff similarly. So I think I might try that soon, and I'll let you guys know if it's good or bad.
Excellent.
In a future episode.
All right, you guys. I think it's about going to do it for another episode of PSVR GamesCast Live. I want to give a shout out to all the mods out there making our lives so much easier every single day of the week. And man, I just want to say I am so excited for you guys to see the next viewer takeover introduction from one of our mods themselves. It's pretty awesome.
I don't even know what this is. They never tell me what's going on.
I'm praising Nick, and he's just he's basically saying shit about me in the chat.
Yeah, and on top of your viewer takeover thing, we're again, just to reiterate to those who didn't hear it, we have special guests. Last week we had Alex Sin. Any fans of Swordsman, which I saw a bunch of you in the saying stuff about you love Swordsman. Go check out the last viewer takeover. Yep. We've got the creator of Swordsman, and he's got some really cool insights on PSVR and games and stuff in general.
Yep.
And we have more guests planned. I think some of you guys are going to really, really like.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Just trying to shoot a little bit of, we're just trying to make 2021 special, trying to give a little bit of, just trying to give the whole channel a bit of an overhaul here and there whenever possible. If you guys have ideas for how to make shows more interesting, to make things that, to make shows that you already like better, or shows that you don't like, or you're like, I wish they would do this, let me know, man. Because sometimes all it takes is a small change to make something dramatically better. And so
I tell you all the time, you never listen to me.
Stop telling them to get rid of me, guys. That's not going to happen. Stop telling them to get rid of me. I'm here to stay.
Nice. And also don't forget to go subscribe to Without Parole Retro, my newest little venture that I've started doing. It's just gonna be a hobby, streaming retro games here and there. So I already did Resident Evil 2 stream, but more importantly than that, of course, make sure you subscribe to Dave over Dave Station VR, who sounds like he possibly might be streaming Stride
VR
sometime soon, giving that a little bit of a preview. Also
Installed.
Subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground, who every Saturday night, if nothing else, does Saturday night live streams where it's viewer's choice and you get to pick what games he plays. So man, we're trying to keep the content coming as much as possible, and because more than anything else, I know that we like to hang out with you guys, and that's what makes streaming with all the cats special.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's some games I barely want to play without having you guys around.
Oh yeah,
it's a great community. Always fun to play Hitman when people are out there watching and commenting and stuff. It makes me more engaged with the game itself, I think, sometimes, to have you guys out there. So thanks for watching. As always, we love you guys.
You guys are the best.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's pretty much going to do it, guys. Let's go do something. I don't know what we're going to do, but let's go do something.
I'll tell you what to do,
like this.
Bryan.
I'm going to run
Cue
like
the
this
cat
on buildings. I'm going to go, and I'm going to yeet.
Hold on, before you cue the cat.
For first, we got Red Rover, the effing game cat, with the $5 donation saying, this is for the Keep Dave Fund.
There's only $5 in the Keep Dave Fund? Damn.
Well, luckily, Dave, there's no money in the Get Rid of Dave Fund. So
that's true. It's all just weird Twitter videos. So
just weird Twitter videos. All right, you guys. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, go to patreon.com/withoutparolegames. That is where you can keep all the lights on, keep the channel running. Actually, keep all the channels running in terms of Without Parole Retro. And in this channel right here, those guys don't see jack shit. But we love you.
Yeah, our channels will be just fine if you don't donate to Bryan.
They have their own Patreons, so you can support them on there too.
He could die in the gutter, and we'd be totally
I did my
fine.
first Patreon post in since October. Sorry about that,
Dude,
guys.
Really showing the love, huh?
I came up with a Patreon reward, and then I totally didn't do it.
What was your new Patreon reward?
Well, so I was going to stream flat screen games unlisted for Patreon people.
Okay.
But there's not that many of them, and I started thinking, like, how am I going to coordinate them all? It's just going to be like 2 people watching at any given time, and somebody will be like, oh, I totally missed it. That sucks.
Yeah.
So I kind of just didn't end up doing
I've been
it.
streaming a lot in the Discord lately. That's
there's
where I like to.
Yeah, guys,
There's
join
times
us.
where I
private
think
streams.
about just getting rid of the Patreon entirely and being like, guys, don't give me money, because I'm just doing stuff at my own pace whenever I feel like. There's no reason to pay me for it. I'm just having fun. But if you want to, the tipping works fine. So I might just kill the Patreon, because I'm not giving anyone any rewards at all ever, which I feel bad about. Bryan's pretty good about it.
I do my
Those
best.
Litterbox episodes, you got to check those out, guys.
Yeah.
If you're not already a Patreon subscriber, him and Jeremy just going off, having a great time. Jeremy's one of the most interesting people to listen to.
He really is, and it's so tough to just be like to silence myself during Litterbox episodes just so you can have as much Jeremy as possible. But when I do finally shut up and let Jeremy talk, it's always gold.
It's always gold.
Yeah.
It's always gold.
Yeah.
Jinx. Yeah.
Absolutely. So guys, the link for the Patreon is in the description below, but more importantly, the link for the Discord is in the link below. Make sure you click that link in the description. Come hang out with us, man. That's where we hang out 24/7. That's where all the cats hang out 24/7. It is totally free to join. And so just come hang out, man. Come hang out. It's just like one big fucking happy community. We love you all, and we can't wait to see you there. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, mods. My name is Bryan. This was PSVR GamesCast Live, and we're out.
Cue the cat, because I want to say goodbye, and thank you so much, guys, for hanging out tonight. What a fun episode this was. But I got to say goodbye to Nick Mulo, the Game Cat Trusty Mod, Mick Coles, Braxton B, the aura of PSVR, #GameCat. Meow. Steve IRE, just incredible, says starting OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Fat Boy Vernon
We'll
says
post
everyone.
feet pics.
Fat Boy Vernon, don't do that. Fat
was
Boy
gonna pick
Vernon
dick
says
pics.
everyone needs a
That's what the
Dave.
money said.
Some fat game cat says yelling kissy lip things. Todd the Father Mucking Game Cat. Happy again birthday once again to Princess Tegan. Donatello the Scientist Game Cat. You have a great one as well, so thank you. DJ Pumpkin Patch Kid. Yo. Choo Choo Baka Kappa Game Cat. Hopefully you saw the viewer takeover where you get to see Thomas the Train Engine with a Chewbacca on the face. Bob Zarkoff, the Underground Dave Station Game Cat, Elite Name Squad in the house. Sean B, thank you so much. Gamer Chick 13, the Diet Pepsi Cat. Tell me all the secrets that we need to know. Johnny No Pockets, aka the Who Dat Game Cat, says catch y'all next week. See you then, brother. Death Lee, the Game Cat. Always love that name for some reason. Red Rover, the effing Game Cat. It's always a pleasure, my friend. Darkins. Peter Taylor, LA Beast, Gaming Psycho, Norman Stansfield says, Dave, you're breathtaking.
Thank you.
Ooh,
David the Gamer Cat says, much love, y'all. Much love right back at you. Tax refund. The Game Cat says, give us the unedited versions. Void Citizens. Who else we got? Cooter Critters, that Game Cat. Gamecast aficionado says, Toodles. Perfected
Toodles.
Insanity Game Cat. Somebody call it. We've always got perfected on standby.
Hell yeah.
If we have a bogey we need taken care of. EAE, hello. Hack the Game Cat later, dude. SB says Toodle Pip as always. Decepticon says GG, and I say yeah to you, Decepticon. Guys, thank you so much. We love you so much. You guys are the best.
I think we should spend some of this money to get a
Pizza?
one of those guys who does auctions.
Oh.
No, you know the guy who does
Yeah,
auctions.
yeah. Like the micro machine.
Go
guy.
twice. Go. So we can get through the names even faster and we get more names in. You know, have a guy who we just pay to come in and say, Braxton B, Hugh got us over to the kitchen to do meat goals. We got preferred to do 9 lives the Game Cat, tax refund the Game Cat, Braxton B, and Code Critters Game Cat. Be great. Right? No? You don't think so? All right, fine.